Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about trees because I like trees. This conversation was actually inspired by my childhood, by Marissa Price, by a book that I've been reading or that I'm rereading again called The Hidden Life of Trees, and also just fall and nature. So, hi. Hopefully, you can hear me. Hopefully, I look okay. It's officially fall. I don't know if I said happy fall yet or happy October. October is my favorite month. Fall is my favorite season. I love it. I love the colors. It's been getting really chilly. Okay. It's been really chilly outside. So, I figured I'd wear a long sleeve shirt. And I'm wearing an Adventure Time t shirt. Yay. I got this on sale at Target. This was on the clearance rack and I lucked out. So, yay. So, Adventure Time, I don't know if you all watched the show. It's a cartoon from Cartoon Network. And on the sleeves, I didn't even know. Look at this. I didn't even notice it had these on the sleeves. So, this is Finn the Human. Hold on. Can you see him? Finn the Human. I don't know why he's frowning. Bubblegum, Princess Bubblegum. Jake the dog. Marceline. She's a vampire. And the worm, I feel like the worm has a name. Let me see. But I cannot remember what his name is. Isn't it like, let me see. The green worm from Adventure Time. Adventure Time. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. His name is King Worm. Did not know that, but yes. Hi, everybody. Yay, Chica. Hi, Chica. It's good to see you. Hi, Jamile. Yay. I hope that you all are enjoying your week. Happy Wednesday. Let's get started. Okay. So literally, I just want to talk about why I like trees. and I'm also going to be talking about the benefit of trees. So when I first started making this list, so I had this list of like my wonder journal. Like it's like a notebook for like all my curiosities, all the things that intrigue me. I do like research on stuff that piques my interest, and trees came up. When I was a kid, I used to go play, even though my mom told me not to. It is what it is. I was safe. So my mother told me not to go explore into nature, excuse me, where she couldn't see me, right? And so I understand that, like, you want to keep your baby safe. But I still was playing in the woods and I felt at peace in the woods. I just felt so like at home. Trees always like have been majestic to me and just like regal. And so, yeah, let's get into the list. Okay. Number one. So, oh, wait, going back. So, when I made this list, I was going to write down, like, oh, what are the benefits of the trees? Like, kind of like intellectualizing it. And then I went back and I was like, wait, why don't we start with why I like trees? Like, why I love trees. Because that's also a valid reason to talk about trees, too. It doesn't have to be scientific, it could just be for fun. All right, so number one, why I love trees. They're beautiful. Trees are beautiful. They're aesthetically pleasing. It's fall now, and the leaves have started to change a little bit, but it's not really there. Also, depending on how much water trees have gotten during the year, determines like how colorful they're going to be. You know what I mean? So like we're looking for the bright like colors. The trees need a lot of water to do that. And sometimes in the DMV area, the trees be looking a little sad. I don't know. I don't know if these trees are getting enough water. So, yeah, you are having your own Adventure Time. Yes, exactly. For those who don't know, again, Adventure Time is a cartoon. It's like post-apocalyptic, but it's cute. It's really cute and sometimes dark. um, but yeah, like when I was a kid, I was an explorer. I used to love exploring nature, like turning over rocks, seeing what I could find. And the trees felt like they kept me company. Like they really felt like they saw me. You know what I mean? And they kept me safe. And I wrote down in my journal talking about nature. I don't think that I ever thought like, oh, there's like a spirit out here. I've been reading the indigenous African wisdom. It's a book. But anyway, but I've been reading it, and he was talking about how through a practice in his can't speak, in his tribe, they would have to sit down and like look at a tree and try to see the spirit in the tree. And so for me, I always felt like the spirit was there, but I didn't really feel like, oh, it's a spirit here, but I felt safe. You know what I mean? Like I felt warm and seen. So yeah, so I was having my own adventures. Yes. So number one, reason why I love trees, they're beautiful. They're aesthetically pleasing, just very surface. It's very nice to look at. And later on, we'll get into why they are so nice to look at. This sent me down a rabbit hole of research. So I want to share that with you. I want to geek out. Okay. Yay. Hi, Yolanda. Hello. Hello. Good morning or afternoon. Good afternoon. Yay. All right. Number two, they keep us cool. The woods are so much cooler than a road or a street or a city. So I'm from the DMV. I'm from DMV. I'm from the DMV, and throughout the DMV, you have some more urban areas. Then you have some like nature areas, right? And I grew up in a very nature area, low key, kind of rural. It was like suburban but rural, right? So growing up, I was surrounded by trees. Sorry, Chica. That part, okay. These trees be struggling, and we'll get into that into why, right? Yay! Hello, it's so good to see you. Yay! Hello, thank you for saying hi already. Thank you for being here. Yes, yes. All right. So, yes. So the trees keep us cool, right? And when I grew up, where I grew up was around a lot of woods and a lot of trees. And it was so much cooler than the urban areas. Like every time you, like there's this one road, towards like where I lived and where I grew up. And when I turned on that road, literally I could feel the temperature drop like immediately. And we don't really pay attention to that if we grew up in like more urban areas. But yes, where there are trees, there is cool, right? It's cooler. It's way cooler, and we'll get into why in a second. But yes. Also, trees are wondrous and teach me so much. Like they're literally, I see trees as my elders because they've been here for forever. One time me and Jamal went to South Carolina, Charleston. There's an angel oak tree there. And I think that tree is about 400 years. Let me make sure. Angel oak tree. Let me see how old. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So the angel, let me share my screen with y'all because I want to share this with y'all. Hold on one sec. Present, share screen. So the angel oak tree, first of all, I love Charleston, South Carolina. That's one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. Charleston, Savannah. I love low country. It's beautiful. And a lot of my family is from there. So from Savannah. So this is what the angel oak tree looks like. This is a better picture than any picture you can get because when you go during like visiting hours, everybody's taking pictures. But let me see. Can I zoom in here? Let's go to the website. So yes, the angel oak tree. Yep, here we go. The Angel Oak Park is located on Johns Island, where you can find what is known as a low country treasure. So low country is like Savannah, the coast. But the Southern Live Oak Tree is a historical site and focal point of one of the. Okay, change the format. Oh, it looks better. Okay. It is considered to be the largest live oak tree east of the Mississippi, estimating to be 300 to 400 years old. This is what it looks like. Can I zoom in? Let's zoom in. And this picture doesn't do it any justice, by the way. Beautiful. Oh, and when I see that tree, I'm just like, it's just such a work of art. Like, like human hands could not have made this. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. So let me see. I'm gonna zoom in some more. Oh, the following are not allowed. So yeah, you're not able to like sit under the tree. I would love to. You're not able to put up tripods, but they're also trying to protect this space. So again, 300 to 400 years of history for this tree. And when you stand next to it, you're just so overwhelmed. First of all, it's huge. There's no person in here, so you can't really see the scale. But I promise you, this tree is huge. So you stand under this tree. Technically, you can sit on the branches. You can sit under the shade. I have a video, years ago, where I was singing "Is This Love" under the tree, and I had locks at the time, and it was before I was married. So that was a long time ago. But I really want to go back to go visit this tree. But anyway. This tree has been here for 300 to 400 years. You know what I'm saying? What has this tree seen? What has this tree experienced? So whenever I see a tree, I understand, first of all, it takes trees a long time to grow. This tree knows things. The trees are wise. I think about even scripture, right? Where they talk about with wisdom, the foundations of the world were created. And I'm just like, okay, yes, like trees were here at the foundation of the world with wisdom. Trees were created, and trees hold a lot of wisdom because they've seen a lot of things. They were created with wisdom, right? So anyway, let me come on out of here. But yes, so trees. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing the link. Yes, I was singing at the Angel Oak Tree, and it was a lot of fun. It was fun, right? Isn't it beautiful? Oh, yes, you're welcome. Hi, dudes. Hello. Thanks for sharing today. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm hiking trails near the national park this morning. Nice. Enjoy. I'm envious. Enjoy, enjoy. Yes, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And hello, good morning. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Um, yes, this tree knows things. Yes. Trees have a lot to teach us. Nature has a lot to teach us if we will sit down and listen. If we will pause for a second and take it in. Oh, let me stop sharing the screen. Okay, yes, yes. All right. The next reason why I love trees. Oh, yes. Sorry. Going back. They're wondrous and teach me so much. Trees are literally my elders. They're wise and always teach me something new. Every time I learn about trees, every time I read a book, this is the book that I'm rereading. The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. I think he's German. So Wohlleben. But yes. Excellent book. Short chapters. It's kind of thick, yes, but the chapters are really, really short. Take your time with it. There's so many. I just started rereading it, and I already have like a lot of highlighted highlighted parts in this book. But it's really, really good. Okay, next. Okay, another reason why I love trees is because I love how they care for so many. One of my favorite things about trees is that not only do trees take care of themselves, take care of us, right? Humans, we benefit from the trees, the oxygen, the food, all the things, right? But also trees take care of the animals that live in the tree. They create biodiversity. So you have, wasp nests or bee nests. You have ants, you have other like caterpillars, you have birds who build nests in their trees, right? So they provide oxygen for us and for our lungs. And they're the air purifier for the world. Oh, sorry. Yes. This is the book, The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. What they feel, how they communicate, discoveries from a secret world. Yes. I used to love, side note. You remember when we were in elementary school, and I have a kid's book that I want to read y'all, right? But remember when we were in elementary school and, okay, I want to read this book to y'all at some point. But when you would sit in like a little semicircle and the teacher would sit in front of you and they would hold up the book and they would read it to you. This is one of my favorite things. I don't know what it is about that, but like holding the book in my hand and being like, when it's time for a journey to learn and grow, like reading to the babies. Anyway, so yes, the trees, they take care of us. The trees that take care of us, they provide oxygen for the world. They're the air purifier. They're a home for animals and bugs. They provide shade for us when it's hot, and animals in the hot sun. I don't know if y'all have ever seen in the summertime when the birds are hot or the cows are hot, depending on where you live. The cows will get up under a tree and lay down, and they will follow the shade. The birds will sit under a tree or in a branch with their beaks open. Because I don't know if birds can sweat. I know that dogs pant because they can't sweat. I'm imagining birds can't sweat either. But like they'll sit with their mouth open to cool down. And yes, trees provide a sense of well-being and general feel-goodness. Like I don't know what word that is, but it makes you feel good. They provide joy. They also provide food, water, sap, right? Syrup, these kinds of things, and other resources. Fuel, like when used appropriately. Fuel, food, housing, what we're in. There's so many houses being built now using a lot of wood, but we'll talk about that later. But yes. Yay. Hi, DJ. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Hello, Marcia M. It's good to see you. Yes, all the little creatures are taken care of by the trees, right? Hello, her. Hello. Hi, Natalie. Natalie says, I wanted to push every kid in my way. I was always in the back because I was so tall. Me too. So me and this other guy named Daniel in elementary school were the tallest people in our class. We were always in the back. So like in that little semicircle, I'd be in the back too. And I love the little, crisscross applesauce. And like we would read the books and like do the sounds to make the sounds go. Yeah. Shout out to you. Yay. Hi, Marissa. It's good to see you. Hi. I used to sit with my stuffed animals in a circle and read to them. I love that. Right. When I was a kid, I did want to be a teacher. And then I realized like what teaching would entail. And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. But at some point we'll read this book. And it looks like it's a fall book too. Aww. Let me read the first book. I know we're off track. The first page. So the first page says, when it's time for a journey to learn and to grow, roads guide your footsteps wherever you go. Roads give you chances to seek and explore. Want an adventure? Just open your door. So we'll get to that. But yes. All right. Next reason why I love trees. I love that trees take their time. Trees are slow. Trees grow very slowly. Even reading about trees, them sending electric signals throughout the tree from the branch to other trees, scent signals to other trees next to the tree. I'm saying tree a lot. They travel slowly. They move slowly. They take their time. And they take their time and they last. Right? They last. They're not in a rush. They don't hurry. They're like, yeah, we're here. And there's this quote that I get in my tea a lot, and it says, like how wondrous it is that nature does not hurry, yet everything is, oh man, everything is done, for lack of better words, right? Everything is accomplished. So nature doesn't hurry, yet everything is accomplished by nature, right? And so we're always like in a rush. Like, what's the fastest way to do it? The cheapest way to do it, right? What's the way to get there the quickest way? And trees are literally teaching us, relax. Even when you go out to the woods, there's like this reverence that we have, that we kind of feel, where it's like, let me slow down a little bit. Let me take in the scent of the trees. Let me take in, like, the trees are swaying in the wind, and you can hear the leaves like blowing in the wind against each other. Like, it's calling you to reverence the tree and reverence nature and calm down and slow down, you know? So yes, that's one thing that I love. Hello, Quantum '08. Hello, right? Isn't it so precious? Yes. That part. I love trees because they are truly our protectors, and they are. They protect us against so much. You're on it. Yes. Oh. Ooh, I love that title. My former nonprofit was Wherever You Go, Love. I love that. OMG. Yes. Hello, Deshaun Burns. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Yes, a word. Okay. A word. That part. Yes, teaches patience in the waiting. Absolutely. Hello, the other MJ. It's good to see you. Yeah, that part. Ain't no rushing a tree. Okay. And, did I say this already? Not yet. I'm gonna get there. But keep this in mind. Keep this in the back, like tucked in your hat, because we're gonna come back to this. Yolanda says, my favorite book growing up was Stand Back, Said the Elephant, I'm Going to Sneeze. I love that. Mine was probably The Hungry Caterpillar. I know. It's like everybody's favorite, but The Hungry Caterpillar, and he passed away in recent years. And that made me sad. The Hungry Caterpillar, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. There was another one with like about a strawberry or something. Like, I have little, sometimes I remember everything about my childhood, and then other times I remember like little snapshots. And there's like this big strawberry on the front cover of it, and it kind of looks like in the same style as The Hungry Caterpillar. I also used to like we're going on a bear hunt, right? To see what we can find. And I liked it because of the incorporation of like using a body as a soundtrack to the story. So like walking through the reeves in the story. Like, so the whole point of the story is like, real quick, we're going on a bear hunt to see what we can find, right? You're going to search for a bear. So like, you're leaving your house, you're walking through the grass, you're going through tall grass, and like, this is the sound that we would make. We're going on a bear hunt. And then walking, hold on my thighs, running. You know what I mean? Just being a little kid. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yes, the book is really good. Yes, I still like reading out loud to folks to this day. Yes, I love that. I don't know if y'all remember in school when we would all be reading books and like, you read this paragraph and we'll go around the room. I'm like trying to figure out, okay, which paragraph am I going to get? Are there any words in here I don't understand? Right? Like that kind of stuff. So yes. Yay. Okay. All right, let me get back. Oh, yes. I love Hungry Caterpillar. Me too. Okay, awesome. Yay. That's good. Natalie says, I live in Georgia. My cottage is surrounded by trees of all kinds. I take pictures every season and I enjoy the smell and especially the sound when the wind blows. Isn't it calming and soothing? Unless you're out there by yourself. Sometimes I was on like this hike in my local park, and I was out there and I just heard this creak. I didn't realize that trees could sound like a creaking door closing. That was the creepiest. That was the creepiest experience, But yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. If You Give a Mouse a Cookie was definitely in my top 3. Absolutely has to be. Has to be. Pizza for breakfast was a fave. I haven't even heard that. A fave of mine because I love pizza. Pizza is delicious. I love pizza. Anything starchy, it's a mess, but I love starch. I do. I need to get it together. Yes, The Hungry Caterpillar. Maybe I'll get that book for my child self. Oh, I also love My Rotten Redhead Older Brother. That sounds familiar. There was also a book about like the Three Little Pigs. It was interesting. Now I feel like I need to go on like a we got to talk about this, the childhood books that we had. Oh, If You Give a Pig a Pancake. I've never even heard that, but that sounds so cute. That sounds cute. Yes, we did have cutesy books. Yes, yes. My mother used to take us to the library all the time, you know. So we would rent the books or borrow the books, you know. And that was one of my favorite like memories of fall, going to the library with my mom, getting like maybe like 3 books and reading them. So yes, yes. Oops. Okay. I was always on the next chapter by the time my paragraph came around. I love reading. Me too. And I always felt like, I do love reading. All right. Okay, let me come back to my list. I'm gonna come back to the chat in a second. Hello, Paige Turner. Hello, thank you for being here. Okay. All right, the next reason why I love trees is because they care. Okay, this is where we get into. They care for little saplings, right? They provide cover for them. They provide them with cover from the sun until the saplings are ready. Okay, so y'all know that phrase that people use like, oh, I don't want to grow up in your shadow, right? Like there's like this idea like we're a small tree under this big tree shadow, as if like that's somehow like we're missing out on opportunities as somebody older than us or with more experience, or like, you know, you're living in your older sibling shadow or something like that. Like we use this phrase, but really trees do cover the saplings. Like mature trees, like the full grown joints, when a sapling is growing from the ground, it can't get direct sunlight or else it will die, right? So the sapling, if exposed to sunlight, it will grow tall really quickly, but will have no base, will have no good foundation, you know? And the elder trees know that. And to care for their saplings. So even though their saplings or their teenage saplings in whatever year that is might be like 45 years old and is still not ready, like even though they want to mature and be like their parents or their grandparents or their aunts and uncles, because yes, they have a whole family. It's a thing. Even though they want to be big like them, the bigger trees know that you can't handle all this sun. So they grow leaves to cover the sapling. Isn't that nice? So anyway, so they care for the sapling until it's ready, until it has a foundation that it needs to survive. Meanwhile, it doesn't necessarily need all that sun because the older trees are sharing the nutrients with the baby trees. You know, trees live in community. Trees leave touching the roots together, sharing information, sharing resources, sharing sugar, keeping them alive. There's so many, even in this book, they talk about that, how trees that are cut down like stumps, how stumps are still kept alive by the neighboring trees around it because they care for theirs. They care for their own. That's something we can learn from our trees too, how to care for each other when they can't care for themselves. So, yes, so I love that they care for their saplings and provide them with cover from the sun until they're ready. Another reason why I love trees, they're great sound barriers. So the trees absorb the sound. Depending on how dense they are, determines like, and by dense I mean like how packed the tree is, determines how much of a sound barrier it really is. So we went to the West Coast. Why do I feel like I'm out of breath? Hold on. Okay, let me. That feels better. We went to the Redwood Forest 2 years ago, and the redwood, like them trees, those trees are huge. I saw a picture earlier. I might be able to find one later. But because the trees are so huge and they're not as dense as some other trees, it was silent in there. Walking amongst the trees, it was eerily silent. Like you're not used to that kind of silence. It was almost like, I talked about this before, studying deaf studies or ASL, how we had to learn about the ear and the sound. And they would have a room that you would go in there. So they would have a room that you would go in, like to do your hearing tests, right? And so while you're in there having your hearing test, you can't hear anything. Like you hear your stomach gurgling. You know what I mean? Like you hear your mouth noises that you might be able to ignore. because there's all this other like ambient noise going on. But when you're in that room, you hear everything that's happening and you realize the body is actually very loud. And so when we were in the redwood forest just walking around, you know, fearfully, because I don't want to be attacked by no bears or nothing like that. But we were walking around and it was just so quiet. We were literally on a ledge where like below was the ocean, was the Pacific Ocean. And we were so close, but we could not hear it. You couldn't even hear the ocean because of trees. Like the trees filtered out the sound so well. So usually if you grow up in a place with a lot of trees, there's a lot less noise pollution. But places like in urban areas, it's loud. The buildings are echoing sound, like the sound is echoing off the buildings, bouncing off the buildings. There's nowhere for that sound to go. So it's really, really loud because there's no trees. So something to think about. So they absorb sound. And yes, it sounds like literally the redwood forest sound like a treated room. Like that's exactly what it sounded like. Okay. Next reason why I love trees. They provide a sense of safety and well-being that I cannot explain, but my soul remembers. My soul remembers the trees and finds safety there. So I mentioned earlier how when I was a kid, I went to the woods and I was playing around and I always felt safe. And my grandparents actually lived across the street from the woods too. And I would go in there and explore. And I didn't feel any fear. I wasn't afraid. Even though things could have been in there like snakes or like, I'm on the East Coast, so there's not really a lot of bears, you know what I'm saying? Like where I am, but like snakes for sure, rattlesnakes, other poisonous spiders, that kind of stuff. But like, I wasn't really afraid of that. Maybe I was ignorant, but I also just knew that I was safe. And so I feel safe around trees. And I also know that as Black folks, our history is complicated when it comes to nature and trees. But yeah, like there's like this genuine safety that I feel around trees. Whenever I'm in the woods, I don't fear the trees. I don't necessarily fear the animals either. I fear people. People are the people that I fear. People are the thing that I fear when I'm in the woods. It's never really the nature itself. Because I feel like nature sees me. Even though I can't explain it, I feel like the trees see me and I see the trees and we have an understanding. You know what I mean? So, yay. Hi, Mara. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. It really was cute. Oh, yes. Junie B. Jones. I didn't even get to get into those books. I didn't. You know what books I was into, though? The American Girl series, Addie. So she was an enslaved little Black girl who was then freed. And like we got to follow her journey to freedom. So yeah, but yes. Okay. Let me come down. Oh, yay. The nostalgia. I know. Okay, let me come down. Oh, y'all are saying a lot. Let's see. Oh no. Okay. I have a dying pine tree in my front yard. And I'm having a hard time letting it go. I grew up with this tree and I love it. We literally had our own Christmas tree. I'm really going to miss it. I'm so sorry, Yolanda. I'm sending you so much love. That is hard. It's hard. Even when we know like the tree is sick or it's time for it to go. It's really hard. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Chica. It's really hard to be like, okay, you can go. Even though like you've been my friend. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Chica. It was. To be fair, you're correct. You're correct. It really was. Yes, that part. Hopefully it comes back. Yes, hopefully a new sapling comes before it goes. I hope so too. I really hope so too. Yes, the absence of a tree canopy in urban areas is intentional. We're going to talk about that. Okay? So yes, absolutely. It is intentional. Absolutely. Okay. So the next reason why I love trees, they are majestic, magical, and spiritual. They're holy. They're holy creatures to me. Another reason why is trees are wise. I've said this before. They've been here so long and they know how to survive. Can you imagine all they've seen and all they've survived? Another reason, they're communal. They support even fallen trees. And they take care of each other in a way that I wish that humans would take care of each other. When a human is sick oftentimes or not mentally well, or maybe they're struggling with something, right? Our first instinct is to harm them. Our first instinct is to attack them because we're from the West and we have a Western mentality where we don't take care of people. We don't do victims. You have to be strong. You got to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You got to get it like I got mine, right? We're not a very communal people. Inherently we are, but we're taught and indoctrinated to not be, to see ourselves as individuals, not a part of a whole, where trees see themselves as a part of a whole. I am not a forest. I am a tree. right? And in order for me to survive, you have to survive too. Because in order for me to be a healthy tree, I have to be in a climate that is healthy for me, beneficial to me, right? And if you die, ain't gonna be no forest for me to live in, right? That's common sense. So like for me, trees taking care of each other is it's such an act of love and also self-preservation. Like I preserve myself by also preserving you. And so that's why when a tree is sick, all the trees in the community send all the resources to that tree to help it become well. When trees are attacked by other bugs, trees will send signals to other trees, whether using fungi, whether using scent. So it will release scents in the air, right, to communicate to other trees, or electrical pulses to communicate to other trees that they're in danger, right? So the tree will say, hey, I'm struggling. I'm being attacked. Something is wrong. And all the trees come running, so to speak. All the trees come running to save this one tree. What a beautiful act. The tree says, you know what? I got it. I got what I need. Let me give you some extra. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, so they take care of each other. And it takes a forest to create a microclimate suitable for the tree growth and for the sustenance. We need each other well. We need each other healthy. So yes, another reason why I love trees. I love watching them slowly turn colors in the fall, and I love their rest in the winter. I love their bloom in the spring, and I love their lushness in the summer. They're lush in the summer, right? Yeah. Yolanda says, never thought about trees not being in urban areas intentional. Absolutely. But it makes sense. It absolutely does make sense. Like literally one of the reasons when I was researching the benefits of trees for this conversation, and one benefit, of course, capitalism always comes in. It raises property value. Having trees on the property, having nature on your property at your home raises its property value, which means that if you don't have the money for that property, you don't get no nature. Sorry. You don't get any nature. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yes, I love watching them change during the seasons. Trees honor their boundaries and energy and let go knowing they'll always get another spring. I love that. So I'm in a season myself where I'm on sabbatical technically. And the trees are showing me, the beauty in receiving. So like I am a tree right now that is not well. You know what I mean? And so there are other there are other people who have come to my aid to help me to rest. Yeah. And I've also been sitting with, because I've had this fear of like putting things down and resting. And I'll talk about that at a different time. But I'm really realizing how beneficial it is to let things go, and how also letting things go benefits other people too. Let me explain. In the fall, the trees let go of their leaves, right? The trees let go of their leaves because they don't have the energy, sunlight as energy. There's not enough hours in the day where there's sunlight. The trees are saying, I can't maintain these leaves right now, so I have to let them go. The trees let them go because they don't have the energy, and they need to conserve energy for the winter, right? Because it takes energy to keep leaves alive. So the trees let go of the leaves fall to the ground. And what do? We usually like scrape them up or rake them into a pile, fall into them, bag them up, and send them away. That's actually not what we're supposed to do with leaves, by the way. Just little, we're supposed to let the leaves lay where they are. Why? There are so many benefits to this. So when we let the leaves lay at the feet of the tree, those leaves turn into compost. They help enrich the soil that the tree is in, right? But they also create a home for the bugs that usually live in the tree. It insulates, like the leaves insulate the ground so that the bugs don't have to freeze to death. You know what I mean? And so what that said to me is, even when you let go of stuff, like you letting go of the things that are weighing you down and stressing you out, it's also beneficial for the people that you're afraid of not being able to support. So maybe the tree, they probably don't think like this because they're not humans, but like, because capitalism is like, but the tree itself is saying, maybe it could say, well, I can't put this down because what about the ant? What about the beetle? What about the butterfly, the caterpillar? What about them? Like, I can't put this down. I can't rest. There are too many people depending on me. And even when the tree lets go of its leaves, it's still taking care of its people. And it's just amazing, like, to think, exactly, nothing is lost. Nothing is lost. Nature wastes nothing. We waste stuff. There's no waste in nature. Waste doesn't exist. An animal passes away, a bug, an animal, something eats it. Right? It's energy. It's fuel for something. You know what I mean? Anything that you plant and goes back into the soil. And we talked about that a little bit in the garden, in this creative community that I've created. It's not open right now, but it will be at some point. After I rest, after I get my wind back. But like, nothing is lost. When you plant a seed and it doesn't grow, we can mourn that seed. You're allowed to mourn it. But at the same time, if the seed doesn't grow, it becomes compost back into the soil. It enriches the soil. If a seed is eaten by a bird, the bird will poop it out somewhere else and it still gets planted. It becomes fertilizer. You feel me? There's no waste in nature. Nothing is a waste. And so for myself, like, the trees are teaching me to rest. The trees are teaching me, you will be taken care of. You've taken care of other people, and other people are taking care of you. You're in a season of receiving. Sit down. Reserve your energy. Take care of yourself. You know? And by taking care of myself, I'm better able to take care of other people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the trees be speaking. Okay? Yay, trees. Yes, yes. Yay. Yolanda says, yes, Alicia, my dad and I always had this argument. Yes, I believe they only have us take leaves so they can turn it into fertilizer. Yes, and sell it back to us. Exactly. Stop breaking your leaves. That part. If you don't have to, don't. All this energy. Oh my gosh, I gotta go rake the. No, you don't. You can leave the leaves right there. It'll take care of itself. Nature takes care of itself. Nature knows what it's doing. Also, our lawns, that's a whole other conversation. Our lawns are not supposed to be what they are. You know what I mean? So like, they could use some leaves. They need help. Okay, let me see. Yes. Ooh, yes, that part. It leads to disconnection from the earth and thus disconnection from self. Yes, talking about in urban areas how there aren't many trees. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Jesse. Jesse says deforestation and destruction of marshlands increase deaths and damage during natural disasters. Yep, because these barren areas have lost their protection against storms. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. That's in the notes too. Like, the roots of trees create barriers so that things don't get washed away. We need trees to save us from floods, from soil erosion. Like, nature has natural barriers. When we just cut down stuff to put back what was already there. I was thinking about this idea of air conditioning. We wouldn't need so much air conditioning if y'all stopped cutting down all the trees. The trees are the air conditioning. They're literally releasing cool air, cool water vapors into the air. That's why it's so much cooler when you walk into the woods. You know, humans are a problem. Humans are a problem. Let's see, Christine. Hi, Christine. I hate throwing away food. Yeah. I put spoiling our old stuff outside for the possums and raccoons. I love that. And I just watched them on the Ring camera eating. Last night I put out extra for the hurricane survival. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. I love that, Christine. Taking care of your neighbors, right? Because the animals are your neighbors. I think about how we build in places where there were animals. Like, when a deer crosses into a street, it's not that the deer crossed into the street is in the deer's home. You know what I mean? And so we tear down their habitats and then be frustrated that there's so much like roadkill. There's so much, like animal activity. That's their home. That's their home. My mother had a garden, and she still has it, but it's now raised off. It's just like a raised garden, and it helps her to be able to garden easier too. But she had a garden on the ground, and every year there was this groundhog. There was this groundhog that came and devoured some of her food, right? And at first, like, my thoughts were like, no, because I didn't want my mom to be disappointed. And I'm like, no, get away, get away. I would always come to the door like, no, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And then after a while, I started thinking like, well, why can't I leave? If this is the groundhog's home, where our house is, if this is their home, why can't I leave a few tomatoes or cucumbers out for them? Why not? Why can't I feed them? They're just trying to survive. Even though I feel like this groundhog knows that it's not supposed to. It's like, okay, anyway. But yes. But it's saying, hey, there's food here. Why can't I eat this food? You know what I mean? Y'all, let me know if I'm still here, because it says connection unstable. But I can still see me, so hopefully it still works. But yeah, so why can't it eat food? Wouldn't it be kind for me to leave food out for them so they don't have to fear and run? And maybe by feeding them, you know what I'm saying? They'll get what they need and leave us alone. Maybe. This could go totally wrong. But yes, like, I'm co-living with these animals. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Deshaun Burns. Thank you. But yeah, I'm co-living with these animals. Like these animals are in my community too. Sure. If I give fruits and veggies to my neighbors, why can't I give fruits and veggies to the bird? You know, we have a bird feeder in the front. My mommy has a bird feeder in the front that feeds hummingbirds, and every summer and spring they come back and feed on the feeder. It's just a joy. Like it's just a joy that the hummingbirds take a long journey. They migrate. So they take a long journey and they always stop by our house during their migration. And during the fall, I think they go back south. But it's just beautiful to know that the tree in our front yard is a sanctuary for the hummingbirds. I think this year my mom had like three, but a hummingbird can give birth to a baby bird, right? A hummingbird can give birth to a baby bird, and that baby bird has never been anywhere that the mommy bird has been, but the baby has been downloaded with the map that the mother bird has. So sometimes when we see the hummingbird, I'm like, is this the same hummingbird or is this the baby? Because the babies know exactly where to go to. Nature is amazing. Nature's amazing. Excuse me. I was watching the old the other live that I did, and I realized y'all can hear me when I'm swallowing water. So yes, it's the same practice. Taking, stealing what already exists and then selling it back to us. Exactly. Nature already knew what it was. We just need to learn how to work with nature, not against it, so that we have to keep fixing it with our human problems that always create more problems. It's because we think that we're better than nature. We're smarter than nature. We are nature, so we should listen to nature. But yes, okay. The next reason why I love trees. Oh yeah, before going back to that old reason, like managing their energy, they choose when they're going to reproduce. So trees don't produce every year. They literally look at their energy and they say, is this a year for growth? Can we afford it? What's the energy budget looking like? Shout out to Tony Jones. She's a affirmation artist. But what is the energy budget looking like? No, we're not doing it this year. Okay, cool. Right? And they honor their boundaries. Meanwhile, here, us, we're all about production. More, do, grow, become. There's no time for rest. And we're not really honest with our energy. And so we often end up burned out because we're working past our capacity, beyond our capacity. Okay. The next reason, trees believe in community and collaboration. They're connected to other trees beneath the soil. They're connected to fungi. They leave space for other trees to flourish and bloom and take up space, and they take care of each other. So if you ever look up at a canopy, at like all the trees at the top, sometimes you will notice that the trees will stop growing where there's another tree because they want that other tree to get a lot of sun as well. They don't want to overtake everything. Sometimes you will see that space in between. Let me see if I can find it. Space in between tree canopies. Ooh. Let's see. I need a picture. Images. Perfect. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Share screen, please. Thank you. Okay, so here you can see some examples of how, like in this canopy, let me see what happens if I click. Okay, yes. It's called crown shyness. And so you see these like lines in between, like these patterns and paths. The tree literally respects other trees of its kind. It's saying, hey, friend, I need sunlight, but so do you, right? Because if I give you sunlight, if I don't take up all the space, you're going to get some, I'm going to get some, homegirl over there is going to get some, my friend down the street, my cousin, my auntie and them are going to get some. And because we're all sharing resources, we don't all have to work as hard. I don't have to take up a lot of space because I know you're going to take care of me. You know what I mean? If we could apply that to real life, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we could apply this to real life, like, is this working? Can I zoom in? Oh man. Okay, that's a better image. Thank you, Wikipedia. But yes. So we respect each other's boundaries, each other's spaces. We let everybody get some sunlight. If everybody got some sunlight, got the same respect, the same kindness, then we won't have to be so dependent on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me see. Stop sharing, please. Thank you. All right, let me come down. Yeah, right? Isn't it amazing? It's amazing. Trees are smart. Trees are smart. Oh, no. Okay, well, I hope that I'm here. I hope y'all can see me now. I don't know what's going on with the internet, with the Wi-Fi. Every time I go live, I'm like, okay, you trying to play me? Yes, exactly. Colonization has taken us back so many years. Agreed. 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 Drastically different from competition and survival of the fittest. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I understand survival of the fittest as a theory, and I understand, like, oh, but it still focuses on individualism. And nobody gets free, nobody stays free, nobody gets well, becomes successful alone. That's a lie. Nobody does anything by themselves. Even people who say stuff like, well, I do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, no, your life is sustained by other people. The grocery store clerk, the driver, the truck driver, right? The person who also driving your car, people who are respecting the lanes. I was driving the other day as in like last year. And I had this thought of like, when you say the other day, it could be yesterday, it could be 2 days ago, it could be 3 years ago, but no. I was driving my car and I was like, it's crazy that we really trust that people are not gonna swerve into our lane. We give a lot of people a lot of trust. This entire life is a collaboration, and we're hoping that everybody has done their homework and everybody has the best of intentions, because we put a lot of trust. We put our lives in other people's hands all the time. Every time you get in a vehicle, it's a risk. Every time you walk outside, it's a risk. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Yes. As in last year. Just having like this like moment, like, oh my gosh, I'm so vulnerable. The world is so vulnerable. But yes. Ooh, that part. Yes, folks with pollen allergies are really struggling with those male trees. Exactly. And it took away the female trees. The fruit trees, the trees that actually produce like the avocado, the oranges, the apples, and they gate kept that. Why? Because you don't want us to have fresh fruits. And also, they say it's because it's unsightly, that if a tree, produces like apples or something and nobody takes them, and it's just going to fall and rot. And it's like, okay, what about it? Like, that's nature. That naturally happens. But yeah. All right. Okay. Let me take advantage of this good Wi-Fi. Okay. The next reason why I love trees. I can find hope, rest, and safe spaces to lament and magic in the woods. I feel so in touch with myself in the woods. Another reason, the woods and forests have always enchanted me. I've always been taken with and fascinated by trees. And again, I wrote down, can you imagine all the tree has seen, all the tree has known, all the secrets trees hold? They've seen so much change. They've seen so much change. Trees invite you to slow down, be present, linger a little longer, trust the moment. Trust the moment. Trust the now. Trust the now. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oops. Akila J, hello, says, child, I recently got into an accident and I'm so sorry. And totaled my car and my PTSD is bad. Understandable. And I'm sending you so much love. I'm so sorry. Aw, I'm so sorry. That's scary. It's scary. I'm always on the lookout now. People drive so crazy, especially in the city. They do. They drive like they're not driving a death trap. You know what I'm saying? There are so many things that could go wrong. You know what I mean? And we have to really be kind and considerate of other people, excuse me. So yes, I am so sorry. Ooh, I can send you an avocado tree if it will grow in your area. I appreciate that, Christine. I have to look that up. I'm not even sure. That's dope though. I would love an avocado tree. I love avocados. Yeah, so female trees, yep. Female trees bear the fruit. Yep. Absolutely. That part. Marsha, okay, you're with me. Because I literally was like, I'm not trying to make everything about but for real, I think about my ancestors. I think about all the secrets that the trees have held. I think about all the death they have seen. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I think about all the mourning and the grieving that they did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, and same. Yes. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Londa. Akila, I'm so glad you're still here. Same. We all celebrate your life. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. All right. Now we're going on to what are the benefits of trees. So now I talk about why I like it, but now I want to share some things with you that I thought were really cool. So let me take a sip of water real quick. Oh, hold on. Okay. But yeah, they said apparently the female trees, they produce the fruit, and if nobody picks it, and that's assuming that no one picks it too, right? But anyway, so if nobody picks it, then the trees fall, they rot, and then you'll have they said then you'll have drunken animals, or you'll have a lot of animals and critters. And I'm like, well, yeah, They deserve avocados too. They deserve apples too, you know? All right. The benefits of trees. Trees lower air temperatures, increase humidity, and help prevent erosion. It keeps the climate, essentially. Like, trees keep the climate. The reason why we're having a lot of, let me not get ahead of myself. But yes, trees keep the climate. It's so much hotter now. Like, globally, it's hot. Like, globally, it's hot. Concrete is everywhere, and it re-releases heat into the night. So going back to urban areas that don't have trees, right? During the summertime, they bake to death. There's no trees to keep people cool. There's no shade. There's nothing to rest under. And if you do, then you're loitering, right? Even the cows can rest under trees, but people can't. That's wild to me. That's a wild concept. So yeah, so when the heat is like being radiated from the sun down to the earth, the concrete swells and takes in the heat, right? Overnight, the heat is re-released from the concrete into the air. So people in urban areas never get a chance to be cool. In the wintertime, going to another season, in the wintertime, they're freezing to death because they're surrounded by concrete, which does the same thing: absorb and hold and then release. There's no relief. It's not natural. Trees also improve the air quality by removing harmful particles and gases from the air and releases oxygen. So driving your car, right? Carbon dioxide, all these things. We all know about like CO2, you know, and how the trees don't even have time to absorb it all because y'all cutting them all down. And our production is what's most important here in the States. Not the well-being of people. Production, consuming, creating, like growing, which really is just a cancer. Like, somebody put this in perspective and I was like, anyway, in the body or in nature, when things keep growing, it's unnatural. It's not okay. It's a cancer, right? But here with business and everything else, it's always about growth, more, consuming more, buying up more. Like, and again, going back to my friend Marcus, my best friend Marcus, he says, there's enough on the planet for everybody. There's not enough for greed. People are taking more than they can handle. Quite honestly, people have, anyway, but yes. Let me see what's going on in the comments. All these things used for violence. Yep. Trees, oceans, dogs. Yep. Exactly. Nature weaponized. Nature used as a weapon, as a punishment. Isn't it? That's awful. Yolanda says, it just dawned on me what you mean about our history. Yep. With trees in this country. Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. Noise reduction. Trees reduce noise and noise pollution. So in the urban areas, it's noisy. There's nowhere for that sound to go or to be absorbed. It just bounces off of everything. It's just loud all the time. And that also heightens people's anxiety. It makes them more fearful, more on edge, right? So they're actually, by tearing down nature, you're contributing to a problem. People become more violent. We'll get to that in a second too, with no nature. Jesse says, I'm noticing that impoverished areas have less or no trees. Yep. That's got to contribute to a lack of hope. You're on it. Absolutely. We need nature for mental, moral, and spiritual health. Absolutely. Agreed. Overall good health. Even looking at trees, like you just said, even looking at trees can reduce stress and actually speeds up healing for hospital patients. Nature is therapy. People who have surgery, there's a study, and I'll put all the links and stuff below later on, all the sources. But there's a study that says, like, people who have surgery, for example, like, you know, serious surgery, they heal better when they're able to either see nature, like from their window, from their hospital bed window, or be in nature. It speeds up the healing. Nobody's supposed to be healing within white bleach walls in the air conditioning cold and in isolation. So yes, absolutely. So just looking at trees can reduce stress. And it's true. I got trees outside my window and I just sit out there and I just sit on the floor and look out my window and just be like, wow, it's so beautiful, and watch the sunrise and the sunset. It's wonderful. Yes. Okay, let's see. Trees help clean our drinking water. Yes. Forested watersheds absorb water from rain and runoff and filter it, refill underground aquifers. What's happening? Words. Let me go back. Forested watersheds absorb water from rain runoff, and it filters it and refills underground aquifers that are used for drinking water. So I had to figure out, what is an aquifer? An aquifer is an underground layer of water with material that store groundwater. So let me actually just show y'all an example of an aquifer. Fire. Okay, here we go. Ooh, this is giving textbook. Let me share this. Present share screen. And aquifer. Yay. Okay. So an aquifer. Let me put in watershed. So where I am near the Chesapeake Bay. So people will talk about that. So a watershed. Here we go. So rain falls. Can I make this big? No, let's go back. Okay. So let me zoom in at least. No. Okay, let's just do this. Hopefully you all can see this. I don't know, it's so small. So essentially, rain falls, precipitation and rain, it runs down, right? Into tributaries, and then the watershed divide, which is like the land. And then under here, groundwater is where our drinking water is stored. And so what happens is, like, all the stones and things like that, all the stones filter the water. They filter the water, all the roots, the trees, all of it. It filters the water. But if there's no trees, we don't got no clean water. So let me stop sharing. And then a watershed is a land area that drains water into a common body of water, such as a river, lake, or ocean. So let me show y'all. Chesapeake Bay watershed. All right, share screen. Thank you all for your patience. Okay, I don't know what this is about, but this is basically the DMV area is where I live, right? But over here, we have the bay, the Chesapeake Bay, and over here is the ocean. So in the bay, there are a lot of watersheds over here. What is a watershed? Okay, here, this is a better, thank you. This picture is so much better. Okay, cool. So here you can see the Chesapeake Bay watershed includes over 100,000 streams, creeks, and rivers, covers 64,000 square miles, and has a population of over 18.5 million people. It's home to over 3,600 species of plants and animals, right? So it all basically goes out here into the wash, which is the ocean. So what is a watershed? We just said that. The Susquehanna, Potomac, Rappahannock, York, and James rivers are the 5 largest rivers in the Chesapeake Bay watershed, and including like the streams and the creeks and the rivers called tributaries thread through this watershed. Each watershed resident lives within a few miles of at least one tributary, it's true, which acts like a pipeline that connects our communities to the bay. Yay. So more about that. We'll talk. Maybe I'll go research that later on. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I can't survive if I can't go outside and sit with the trees. It's a reset of peace. Agreed. That would be cool. It would just be me like, Reese, guess what I learned today, kids? I would love that. Ooh, yes. The Great Migration to northern cities took us away from nature and into industrial cities. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Makes sense why the energy in most cities is low vibrational. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry, Christine, I didn't see this. I finally got a chance to email you this week. Oh, yeah, to send you some tea leaves. Oh, thank you. Yes. No, please. Don't apologize. I'm behind, too. It's no rush. It's no pressure. Thank you for having grace with me. But thank you. Yes. Yolanda says, I remember being told as a kid to stop running outside barefooted in the grass or stop climbing those trees before you get hurt. Yeah. Although I know they said it for my safety, I knew I was right. Absolutely. And now people are talking about grounding, taking off your shoes and your socks and sitting out in the grass, right? But that's something we've always done. We've always done that, right? It's just amazing to me. I feel like, again, I said this before, science is catching up with nature, with spirit. Science is catching up with spirit, right? Because I feel like spirit lives in nature. And so, like, there are just things that just feel good. Like, I've always loved putting my feet in the grass. I've always loved that. You know what I'm saying? I've always loved putting my feet in the grass. And now I'm like, oh, there are benefits from this. This is maybe one of the reasons why it feels so good, you know? So yes. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I used to love Miss Frizzle. Wow. Throwback. We got to talk about it. Let me write this down. Let's have a nostalgic stream. That would be fun. Talk about things in our childhood. Because when I go live, I'm just trying to go live talking about stuff that makes me happy, because joy is the theme for the sabbatical. But on the Magic School Bus. Anyway, I'm mixing that song in like Binya Binya. Let's go together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. You remember that show? Anyway, but yes. I would love to be Miss Frizzle. That would be dope. A Magic School Bus, period. Yes. Okay. All right. Another benefit of trees. Okay. Going back to temperatures, trees lower the surface air temperatures by providing shade and releasing water, vapor into the air through their leaves. So through their leaves, right? If this is a leaf, because when you're signing, this like is leaf or like leaves. It's like this is tree, the sign for tree. And then on the tree, there are leaves, right? So on the leaves, they have little pores on the leaves that release cool air and vapor. And that's why the temperatures are lower. Nature is so smart. Okay, another benefit. Trees help reduce the effects of climate change by absorbing CO2, right? And releasing oxygen into the air. Trees benefit wildlife. They don't need to impact us directly to be precious and valuable, right? Because even before I was born, animals love trees. So trees provide habitats for the animals. Trees also reduce crime. Let me read the comments real quick and we'll get right into that, because yes. Oh yes. Or female Bill Nye the Science Guy. I watched a lot of public television as a kid. Bill. I would love that. They made learning so much fun. Like Zoom, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? What other shows were there that I watched? Dragon Tales, but that was like later. It wasn't really educational. It was more like, oh, this is fun. Or was it educational? Maybe. Anyway. Christine says, listen, if I have a rough day, I walk out in the yard. Yes. Barefoot and try not to look crazy. But I live in Florida, so technically we're all crazy to the world. Sorry. Also, I hope that you're doing okay with the hurricane. But yes, I'm like, grass, take my pain, period. Please, take it away. Nature, take it away. Please. I love that. Exactly. I was about to say that. Yes, there's science behind how this is healing. Absolutely. Bill. Yes. Shout out to Bill. He's still out here. Doing stuff. Okay. Now let's talk about this. Trees help reduce crime. There are studies that show that with more trees, there is less crime. Less minor crimes, right? So less domestic aggression and less violence. Nature is gate kept away from those who are poor. That's what I wrote down for myself. Nature is gate kept away from those who are poor. Even like with the national, what do you call them? Like the national parks and things like that, parks and services, you got to pay to get in for a lot of those places. Unless like monuments, like in DC, everything's free in DC. I'm spoiled. But everywhere else you have to pay to like go out in nature, right? Nature is gate kept away from the poor, and I feel like it's on purpose. They develop the land, which basically means steal nature. They steal nature away from the poor, the rural, to create more money. That equals less space and more noise, less nature, less peace, less quiet. Meanwhile, the wealthy can hoard all the land they want. Shout out to, what's his name? The guy who made, like Microsoft. Am I wrong? What's his name? Anyway, but he's buying up all the land too. So the wealthy can buy a condo in a city, but vacation in the woods far away to get away from the noise and the hustle and bustle. But where do the poor go when they want to enjoy nature? Yes. Oh, hi, Moon McDaniels. Yes. I love going to the Arboretum in DC. It's my favorite place. It's a beautiful place. I also love oh my gosh. I'll think of it in a second. But yes, the Arboretum is beautiful. Yes, Bill Gates. Thank you, Bill Gates. Yes. The power of trees. I have not. Let me write this down. Thank you. The power of trees. Botanical gardens. That's what I like to go to. But that's inside. I like to go during the winter too. Botanic. That's not what I was writing down. It was the power of trees. Power of trees. Thank you for this. Yes. Okay. So they're buying up. Christine, Bill Dirty Gates, period. Because what? So yeah, so where do the poor go when they want to escape the noise? Where do they go? They have to stay where they are, right? And so they're stuck. They're stuck. Trees reduce crime and violence by mitigating some of the psychological repercussions, precursors. Girl, I can't even read my handwriting. Of the psychological precursors to violence, right? So mental fatigue. It's draining. It's draining to constantly be hearing everything. It's draining to keep being able to see everything, right? Everybody's like irritated and tired and fatigued. So there's mental fatigue, right? But trees promote health and social well-being. It reduces stress, reduces noise, reduces heat, reduces pollution or illness, right? Reduces crime, encourages physical activity like walking. When you feeling a little down, like you said, like you can go outside, right? Take my pain away. Where is that at? The comment. Period, right? And that's encouraging more movement in the body. So physical activity, it promotes social ties and community because you're outside. You're seeing people. Hey, what's going on? You might have community gardens, these kinds of things. We throw people in a cage surrounded by concrete and steel and think people won't act desperately or violently, that people won't be full of despair. We disconnect a person who is nature from nature. They will lose hope. They can't see past concrete and steel, right? They don't have hope, like somebody was saying. That makes one hopeless. Like our being connected to nature is literally a part of our well-being. Oh, thank you, Deshaun Burns. Thank you. I'm excited to read that. That's exciting. Hi, MJ. Hello. In 2008, I had a major accident involving hitting a tree. Wow, it saved my life. There was a telephone pole right past the tree. When I healed, I went back and thanked the tree. MJ, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. Wow. The tree saved your life. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that part. If you're poor, you have to drive 20 to 100 miles to access nature's bounty. If you don't have a car, oh dear. Those things are for rich white folks. Exactly. And it really pisses me off because, like I said, I'm in the DMV area. They're developing, i.e. stealing and destroying stuff because the land is already developed. It was already here. But they're developing this land and they're destroying all these trees, right? Like to build these houses that nobody can afford, by the way. Nobody can afford them. Nobody can afford these houses. So I feel like they're really trying to gentrify PG County. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to gentrify the area, obviously, because we can't afford it. And so they're cutting down all these trees. And every time I pass it, it's like a grave site. It's like I'm witnessing a massacre. Like that's what it feels like. I feel bad. Firstly, I feel bad for the trees because these trees have a whole story. They took years, decades, right? Centuries to grow. They took a long time to grow. And just like that, because somebody bought the land and they're not going to appreciate the land, they're just going to put all these random houses, these cheaply made houses, by the way, with no front yard, no connection to nature. There seems to be like a trend of like, not row houses. What is it called? Like the column houses next to each other, townhouses. They're just like building a bunch of townhouses that nobody can afford, that nobody's living in. And it grieves me. And so all of my growing up, like I feel like all my safe spaces are being cut down for someone's profit. And it just makes me really sad because these people who live here, like they're already struggling. Why take away nature? Why? And yeah, if you don't have a car, you're out of here because that's a whole other thing. The car industry, they lobby. The reason why a lot of us live in cities where it's not walkable is because because the car companies lobby to not make the places walkable because they want to make money. It's evil. Everything is evil. It's evil. But yeah. Yes. So so we throw people in a cage and wonder why they're violent. I'm not confused, right? So I wrote down in my journal one time, I was like, they put condos where our skyline used to be. It was like the beginning of a poem that I was writing. Like where there was hope before, now there is Bozuto or whatever the heck the name of those companies are, or like whatever the other names, right? Now we see other buildings. We only see these white men's monuments to themselves. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you when I'm looking up into the sky. I want to see the sky. I want to see the trees. I want to see the birds. You know? And trees increase property value. So what they will do is they will cut down all the trees and then put a house there and then put a tree in the front yard. And trees don't survive in isolation. Trees need community. Trees are not isolated things. They need each other. And so what happens? Those trees get diseased, they get sick because they weren't supposed to be alone in the first place. Like, why cut down trees to build it? Why not build with nature? Why not work with nature? You know? Yes. So they increase the property value and people are so desperate for nature and the poor cannot afford it. Homes with mature trees tend to sell more quickly and for a higher price. So you're constantly being bought out of nature, having your own little plot of land with nature. As far as crime, trees also take stormwater runoff. So trees help absorb the rain before it turns into runoff that is polluting and eroding the soil. So we need trees to stop the flooding. Because humans and our human logic say, oh, well, that's not sightly. I don't want to. Yeah, no, the trees are there for a reason. If you had trees, people wouldn't be washed away like that. The soil wouldn't just like roll away because the roots are so deeply embedded into the earth. It's holding itself up. Oh my gosh, yes. The retirement communities are, and yes, I have some thoughts. And I'm like, let me chew on my words before I say them. But yes. Retirement communities, who's retiring? Who can afford to retire? My mother is approaching 70 at this point, and she's still working. Like, a lot of the people in this area cannot afford to retire. A lot of people in this area, when they retire, they move somewhere else because they can't afford to live here. You know? And then I also think about, like, who's building the retirement homes, and why are you not thinking about, like, us? Like, we're not at retirement age yet. You feel me? Lord willing, we'll get there, but we're not there yet. So where are we supposed to live? Where are we supposed to go? I know so many people in my generation. So I'm a millennial, stuttering. I am a millennial, and we have been dragged since we were born. Okay. We have been dragged from the beginning. We've been blamed for everything. And like, we don't have anything. We have nothing. Like, a lot of us, I'm not saying this is everybody, obviously. We don't have no homes. We hardly have cars that work. Like, we have 3, 4, 5 jobs, right? Like, we have nothing. We have no safety net. And a lot of people in my generation that I know are living with their parents or co-living, which I don't find no problem with also, by the way. Like, if you live with your family, I think that's beautiful. That's wonderful. But a lot of my friends are co-living, either with a partner or with their family or friends. We can't afford it. They know what they're doing. I often wonder if the destruction of trees could have something to do with the bees becoming extinct. It could. I'm not sure. I don't want to say, like as a fact, but I do know the lack of pollen. So like flowers, like wildflowers, these kinds of things. Yes, absolutely. And just the destruction of their environment, the trees, right? Like you're talking about, like the trees. Where are the bees going to build their little nests? That look, your little friend. But yeah, where are the bees going to build their nests? Where are they going to go? Absolutely. But some good news, the bees are coming back. The population is growing, so that's beautiful. Yes, it is. It is. Hello, Dream Sunflower Poet. Oh, Drea, the Sunflower Poet, excuse me. The energy of the trees is real. To touch a tree hundreds of years old is powerful, isn't it? It's so powerful. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you, Moon McDaniels. Thank you so much. Please do a weekly tree live. Okay, don't tempt me with a good time. I'm getting the Plant Wave app that turns plant vibrations into music. I need to write this down. Plant Wave app. Thank you. And thank you for your $5. I really appreciate that. Plant Wave app. Ooh, thank you so much. That's dope. Okay. Hello, Sacred Streams. Hello. Dang, I never thought about it. Christine says, dang, I never thought about it that way. White man's monument to themselves. Absolutely. It's so true. We are just so used to it. So never stop to really question it. Exactly. Like they want to, people who are our elite, they don't want to be on the soil with us. They don't want to be with us, basics. You know what I'm saying? And so like they live in these high buildings. I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's some of them. Because they like to look down on people. They like to be as far away from people and nature as possible, but they want to go out in nature on their terms. You feel me? So then now like you have, like going outside is becoming unaffordable. Like things are turning, and I love a good glamp, love that. But like, why am I paying $1,000 to be in a remote desert looking at the stars when I used to could do that for free? You know what I'm saying? So people are literally, because capitalism, oh, you don't have no trees in your neighborhood? Come out here to this place and pay $300 a night to stay in a woodsy cabin. When my parents used to do that for free, why I gotta pay? You know, like I'm all for paying to help, like donating to help like maintain things and, you know, take care of the land. But like, no, y'all are price gouging. Everybody's out here to make a buck. And that's frustrating me. Even I was out there looking for a camper van. I think I posted a video, one of the places that I went to go look at a camper van. And this camper van was like $150,000. And I'm talking like the size of a van, right? $150,000. And they're making nature and access to nature a premium. And that's frustrating me a lot. Because y'all look down on unhoused people all the time that live in urban areas, right? But then you're charging other people to live in a tent for $1,000 a night. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Look up any YouTube documentary about the Villages community in Florida. It's a whole retirement community that has taken over cities, waterways, and cut down nature. It's wild. It's gonna piss me off, but I'm gonna look it up. Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I know y'all talking to each other. My bad. I'm always in y'all conversation. Yeah, they hate us too. They hate us. They do. They hate us. All we have is anxiety and Instagram. Akila, that is funny. It's sad, but it's funny because yes. Yep. Deshaun Burns says currently co-living. Otherwise I would be working to pay bills. That part. And I'm glad that you're able to co-live. I love that. I'm in outtake. Oh, I'm in outtake here. Oh, sorry. Oh, I see. Okay, excuse me. So Sacred Stream says, I love trees. While in Merida, Mexico, I saw a man hugging a tree and I was like, yes. Those are my people. Hi, hello. I love trees, but I'm mad my city took all the female trees out. Yep. Now we're just left with the male trees producing too much pollen. Exactly. A lot of people are like, why are my allergies so much worse than it was when I was a kid? Because they stole the trees from us. That's why. The men are like, hey, and now guess what? Something else that I read, I don't know if I wrote it down or not, but like, anyway, but trees now, male trees release twice as much pollen as they used to. Twice. Because they're not mating with anybody. Twice. So shout out to my allergy sufferers, because I literally within the last few years, I've been getting like watery and itchy eyes, and I never had allergies. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this? It's because of all these trees. Humans are ruining everything. Not everything, but they're ruining a lot of things. Greed, I should say. Greed is ruining everything. But hello, Habbo. It's good to see you. Always good to see you. All right, let's see. Hello. Now paying to see the stars there for us all. Exactly. Just give me some land where I could put my little tent, you know? Only sort of related, but I saw an ad saying community is medicine. Yes, but charging $1,000 for a retreat. That's just crazy. Yeah. And yes, I agree. I'm just gonna say I agree. I grieve because the places that they're holding these retreats are also charging the people that are putting on the retreats a lot of money, right? So in order for them to make profit, they have to raise their prices too, right? So on one hand, I understand, but on the other hand, I'm like, is somebody going to open a place where people can go there for cheap? And I'm going to say cheap, because like, what about everybody else that can't afford that? Why can't people go out in their backyard? You know what I'm saying? And camp. Because people don't have a backyard. And now people are legislating stuff to make it illegal to sleep outside. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yes. Mara, girl. I will be co-living until I move abroad to save money, and I'm grateful to be able to co-live. I'm so happy for you, Mar. That's exciting. That's exciting. I don't know if you want to tell people where you're going, but I'm excited for you. Let's get it. Let's do it. And I love that. I'm glad that you had community that you can lean on, you know? Hey, Mike again. Hey, Mike again. I'm late to the chat, but I'm here to Lorax poetically with y'all about the trees. Yes, yes. Aw, Lorax. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I'm in your conversation again. No, it's okay. It's cute. It was a cute joke. I'm here to Lorax with you, poetically with y'all. Thank you for sharing that. It was cute. You don't have to go nowhere. Jesse says, for some reason in Georgia, they plant a bunch of fruit trees near highways. Now everyone is aware that there is a ton of food available that could feed starving people. That's amazing. That is awesome. The only thing, though, to consider, right? The only thing to consider, okay, Mara just here. Okay, Cambodia. Mara's moving to Cambodia. And we are so excited for her. That's so excited. So exciting. The only thing about those trees that we have to be careful about is because it's next to a highway, it's getting a lot of runoff. It's getting a lot of oil, right? It's getting a lot of pollution. And so I just want people to be safe. That's all. I'm just gonna put that out there. Just be safe, you know, but I love that there are fruit trees out there, you know? And every time I drive south, every time I drive to Florida to visit my family, I stop by like Georgia on 95. Like they have like a pecan and like peaches and whatever. I always stop there to get some fresh fruits and nuts. So that's fun. That's fun. Yes, we appreciate the joke. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I saw some of that camper van video, Alicia. I was wondering if y'all looked into buying an older bus or van and rehabbing it. Okay. Ideally, yes, that would be dope to be able to what is it called? Remodel a van or a bus. I would love that. I don't have the skills yet, and I don't have the money for the tools yet, right? So I've been trying to figure out like how I can make do with what I do have. So I might just go car camping again. We have a Prius, so like it's a, what do you call it? We have a Prius and it is a hybrid. So that means that when I'm camping, I can turn on like the air or heat based. I can set the temperature like, oh, it needs to be like 77 degrees. And so like the heat will come on or the air will come on to make it 77 degrees. So that's been cool. I thought about getting a van. We went shopping or, you know, whatever, shopping for a van over the weekend, and a hybrid van was like 40 grand or something like that. 40 grand, I think, for a Toyota Sienna. And we're talking like 2021, excuse me, not 2001. But yeah, it was around like 35,000 or like $40,000. And for me, I can literally get an RV for $35,000. You know what I mean? It's getting ridiculous. And then when you factor in financing, because I don't have 40 grand just sitting around. When you factor in financing where like you're talking 10%, like the corporations are getting greedy, and like soon people aren't going to be able to afford anything. But yeah, but either way, Mike, sorry, you didn't ask all that. But I'm thinking about like being able to, trying to find a way to be able to camp the way that I want to without having to break the bank for it. But yeah, absolutely. But ideally, this is the dream. That is the dream. I would love that. Yes. I know. Highway fruit with all the runoff and exhaust. That's what I'm worried about. It's like, dang. It's like so close. And I get that they need to have it near people. Yeah, I get that they need to have it near people, but I think that would be better in like, I don't know what would be the best thing to do. The best thing to do would just be like give people free food. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. It's so dope and so much work, but share the story if you decide to do it. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Hi, Donna. Donna says there's a book about trees that they communicate to each other when they're in clusters. Yes, when a tree is alone, they can't communicate to other trees. Okay. Is it this book, Donna? But there are also other books that have been recommended. But yes, that broke my heart when I was rereading the intro to this book, and where is it at? It basically said that when a tree is alone, it's like enslaved. Like we really be enslaving. We enslave the chickens, we enslave the cows, we enslave the trees, we enslave everything here in America. Like slavery is the way that we go. And even the person who wrote this book, he says, if you read the professional literature, you quickly get the impression that the well-being of the forest is only of interest insofar as it is necessary for optimizing the lumber industry, right? That is enough for what foresters do day to day. And eventually it distorts the way that we look at trees. So we only look at, the book. So we only look at trees. There we go. We only look at trees like so that they can actually like help us, like benefit us, right? But we don't think about like all the life they are supporting. You know what I mean? There's a story in here about the Yellowstone National Park, and for some reason the wolves left. He didn't really say why they left, but the wolves left, and it left the elk there, and the elk ate up everything. They were eating all the vegetation, and then eventually the wolves. So because all the vegetation was eaten, all the animals left. The beavers left. All the people left. The little animals left. Right. Then the wolves came back and started eating more of the elk, and the animals, the trees started to flourish, and the animals came back. You know. So there's so much benefit. There's so much benefit to trees. Yeah, that part. How can someone access the fruit from a busy highway? Is it there for the farmers only? Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. But yeah. Oof, that part. 40 grand will turn to 60 or 70 grand with interest. Exactly. We were looking at the van, and why were the payments like around $900? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. You're gonna show me this number with a straight face? 900 a month for a van? No gracias. Yes, that part. There are RV rentals by owners. Yes, absolutely. I could rent the tools. You're right. I could. Now I just got to put on my little helmet, my safety goggles, and get to work. But yes, so glad I discovered this book for my book club. I love that. It's definitely worth a read and reread. Absolutely. Oh, yay. Okay, cool. Yes. That's the book. Awesome. Mike says, someone planted a peach tree next to my neighborhood association headquarters some years ago. It was doing well until a few months ago when we had some strong storms. Yeah, I feel so sad. Yeah, because like the reason why they don't fall in storms is because they're holding on to each other. You know what I mean? Like mature trees anyway. Like mature trees, their root system, they're all like, I don't know they're all like this. You know what I'm saying? So like if one tree is like being threatened to fall, the other trees are holding it together. You know what I mean? But if it's by itself and it falls, then nobody's there to help it. Nobody's there to feed it, So yeah. That part. For $900 a month, I'm living there full time. Because that's wild. But before that, some people in the neighborhood were enjoying the peaches. I love that. As they should. That's beautiful. Okay. Let me get back to my notes. All right. So here's some numbers, right? As far as crime, 10% of increase in the sorry. I live in this neighborhood. Where they like to do like vroom vroom cars. It's very aggravating and annoying. But yes, as far as crime, 10% of increase in the canopy was associated with 12% decrease in crime. So for every 10% increase in the tree canopy, there's a 12% decrease in crime. I think that's dope. Oh yeah, so I said that I wrote down a note for myself. I said it's interesting that there are not any fruit trees, but it's been researched and studied how botanical sexism. Here we go again. I hope that I'm here. It's giving struggle stream, but we're going to work through it. Hold on one second. I need to sip some water. All right. And we're back. I think we're back. But either way, it's been researched and studied how botanical sexism is making our allergies worse. More trees. Excuse me. You heard me burp. Sorry, y'all. You know when that air escapes out your throat? It's like, ah. Anyway. Male trees create pollen. Female trees collect pollen, right? Sex. Trees are having sex. Male trees create pollen. Female trees collect the pollen, right? I don't know what's going on, y'all, but I'm back. I'm back. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So botanical sexism, right? So male trees create the pollen, female trees absorb the pollen. Without female trees, the pollen has nowhere to go. And with climate change, trees in more urban areas bloom twice a year, creating more pollen because of climate change. Greater carbon dioxide triggers triggers the pollen. More carbon dioxide triggers the pollen in the trees to release. Triggers the tree to release more pollen. So we're talking about at this point forcing people into a community where they live on top of each other, because usually in urban areas it's more populous, right? You have hotter summers, colder winters, no nature, and now you have worse allergies because the trees in your neighborhood have no female trees, and because of the carbon dioxide being released into the air, it's signaling to the male trees to release more pollen. And this affects everybody. In the DMV during pollen season, pollen will be all over cars. You can write your name in a car. It's really, really bad. It's really bad. Trees also support biodiversity. This is a benefit. Trees are homes for animals, bugs, and other plants, or Spanish moss. The Spanish moss uses the tree as leverage and lays on top of it. And it's not sucking the life from it, right? It's not what is the word? Not a pest. Parasite. It's not a parasite, right? It's we're friends. They support biodiversity. They provide food, shelter, and habitat for wildlife. Roots also stabilize soil and stop soil loss and flooding. Okay? Trees also provide useful wood and medicinal ingredients. Leaves and dead trees provide nutrition for other plants. Going back to trees providing useful medicinal ingredients. I don't know what's going on with the service, y'all. I don't know what's happening. But the willow tree, here we go. When a bug eats a willow tree, right, it releases something in the leaves to deter bugs from eating it. It makes the bugs nauseous and sick, or it kills the bugs. So the bugs stop eating the tree, right? But for us humans, that same thing is released. the same thing is released for us, and it's medicine for us. I will find the exact medicine, but people use it as tea to stop headaches and to lower fevers and things like that. It works as an aspirin. Apparently what's found in willow trees is the precursor to aspirin. So trees offer a lot of benefits. They medicine. I think about my ancestors, my elders, and how they went to trees and plants and made their own medicines, right? And if you take that away from the people, if you take that away from the poor, they have to rely on your medical system. So now you're making them sick by removing all the nature and forcing them to have to use your system that never centered or cared for us in the first place. It's all around. It's a trap. Trees protect us from ultraviolet rays. How about that? Trees reduce UVB exposure by 50%. So when you're playing, under a canopy, when you're in the woods, when you're sitting under a tree, that tree is blocking 50% of UVB rays, lowering the risk of skin cancer and all these other things. Right? Crime. Going back to crime. Trees. Landscaping help to reduce fear. And I was why are people trees reduce fear? Trees reduce fear. Trees also release phytonicides. I'm going to look this up because I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. Phytonicides. Oh, here we go. Let me share the screen so that y'all can see too. There we go. Share. All right, where is the pronunciation joint? There we go. Phytonicides. Google will give you AI, but won't give you what you're actually looking for. Let's see if this will. Why is this a minute long?
Phytoncide.
Phytoncide. Okay. Phytoncide. Thank you. So phytoncides are natural volatile or organic compounds, VOC, that plants emit to protect themselves from bacteria, fungi, and insects, right? So they release this stuff to oh, don't eat me, please. Please don't eat me. Right? But for us, it's a natural oil that protects plants from bacteria, insects, and fungi. But for us, they're also airborne chemicals, and it helps reduce stress and improve our immune system. For us. So while it's not good for the plants, for the fungi and the animals and stuff like that, it's wonderful for us. So it helps reduce our stress and improve our immune system. So we smell it. The oxygen concentration in the forest. helps us to feel better. Natural images. So apparently, here's something interesting. Natural images like trees don't have large color differences. Like it's not a big contrast, right? It's not a big contrast. So because it's a natural thing to look at, it reduces our stress, right? It reduces our stress. Like when we're looking at a screen, for example, it's very bright. The blue light is coming in. There's a lot of contrast. There's a lot of things like competing for our attention. When you go out into the woods, it's just green. It's green and brown and orange and all these different things, right? And it calms us because we don't really consider, like, we understand like noise and how we can be overstimulated by the noise, like by what we hear. But there's also visual noise. And trees lower that noise, like soften that noise. Like, oh, okay. There's something about walking into a park and seeing the trees and I can take a deep breath and I can be okay. Versus when you leave the park and it's like, everybody's honking, these brightly colored cars. It's just a very different environment. Yay! Hi, Level Up single mom. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. But yes, looking at trees, natural images don't have large color differences that are common in urban areas and on screens. So they're saying that the urban areas and screens are stressing us out. Essentially, surprise, surprise, surprise. Then you have petrichor. I feel like I'm going to say this wrong as well. I hope this is interesting. I hope. Okay, here we go. Finally, let me share screen. They got the sound on so I can hear. All right, here we go.
Petrichor.
Oh, that's not at all what I thought it was. Okay, let's see.
Petrichor.
Doesn't it sound like it sound like petrichor? Petrichor. I'm just gonna say core. Petrichor. Learn new words every day. All right, so petrichor, right? Petrichor is the smell that occurs after the rain. Have you ever stepped outside after the rain and like you can smell the soil and like the moisture and it just feels so good? It smells good. It smells like home. It smells like safety. It smells like, oh, that's amazing. Like that smell also, because again, sights and sounds, smells, all of our senses, right? We are overstimulated. But something about that smell is like warm and delicious. Let me see. It says petrichor is a pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm and dry weather. So it smells like deep earth, like the earthy scent, like when you dig into the earth, the soil, like that smell, like, oh, that smells so good. Yes. So it's beneficial to us. Yay. Hello. Okay. Transpiration. I'm struggling to read my handwriting. So leaves lose water through stomata, tiny pores in leaves. After the water evaporates, it cools the air. So again, cell phones. I want to talk about cell phones. Forget the RVs. We beefing with the people that give us our gas. You know what? Forget it. Sometimes I'm joking when I say this, by the way. But sometimes I be like, I feel like we missed everything. When we were in the car dealership, they were like, oh yeah, well, we didn't always used to use credit scores for cars, obviously, because credit scores wasn't always a thing, right? But he was like, yeah, we started using that in the 1990s. I was born in 1990, okay? The 1900s. I was born in 1990. And like, sometimes it feels like I missed everything. And now all we have is struggle and like just trying to make the best with what we got. But yes. Thank you for sharing this mukbang muga. Hello, it's good to see you. Okay, yes. So cell phones. I want to talk about cell phones. One benefit of trees is that it protects us against the radio waves of cell phone signals. It's frustrating when we're trying to do something, but even I see that as like an act of love. One time I was in the park and I was trying to do like a live stream. Them trees said, LOL girl, you're not doing a live stream today. There was no service. And it kept freezing up and messing up, much like whatever, we're here. But like trees protect your body from radio waves of cell phone signals. So trees, leaves can obstruct the line of sight between your cell phone. I have Post-it notes everywhere. Between your cell phone and the tower. So if there are trees between me and a phone signal tower, I might have worse service, essentially, right? A cool fact is that wet leaves reflect radio signals the most. And the tree that stops the signal or obstructs the signal the most are pine trees. Fun fact. I don't know, use it how you will, but yes, with pine trees. So evergreens reflect the most signal. So pine trees reflect the most signal. But because the tree is dense and it has water in it and it has, leaves, bark, you know, all those things, the signal can't go through. So trees that I'm struggling, y'all. Trees that lose leaves, trees that lose leaves in the winter allow better cell phone service. But that kind of makes sense. That makes sense, y'all. Yay. All right. We're almost done. What am I learning from the trees? So these are all the benefits of trees. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. Ha. So the male tree pollen is out here attacking my sinuses because they don't have any female trees to date. Exactly. We all single and suffering. Yes. We're being attacked because these male trees have no female trees to create fruit with or whatever they create, Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, where'd it go? All right. So yeah, botanical sexism. Like, and disregard. So like literally because we live under a patriarchy, patriarchy affects us down to the trees. We're not okay. That part. Trees are incels. They are. And incels are dangerous for everybody. Okay? Yes. Yes. Yolanda, yeah. Never realized how strategic our government was when creating urban environments. Absolutely. This really angers me because they are not only aware of what's harming us, but what can be done to heal us. Absolutely. They know what can heal us. They know how to set it straight. They don't care. Let me go back. Hold on. Hello, Deatra Wills. Hello. HBO Max documentary Trees and Other Entanglements explores humankind's relationship with trees in a book, The Botany of Desire, that explores reciprocal relationships with humans' basic desires. Thank you for that. I might watch this after this. What is it called? It's called Trees and Other Entanglements. Thank you for that. Thank y'all for your recommendations. Words aren't coming to me easily today, but thank you for your patience. MJ says, trees that shaded a large patch of flowers in a local park were lost. Oh, and a major 2010 storm in my area. These flowers are scorched every year. Yeah. So sad. The trees were a part of the park's community. Yes, it was. And I'm sorry, MJ. That's awful. That's awful. Yeah. Like the flowers were depending on that tree to keep it cool. Christine S says a lot of pharmaceutical meds are made from plants. Yep. And they add chemical compounds so that they can patent it and get money. That part. There's always a natural way. It just takes more work to find it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always. And they're taking all that. and they're taking all that away from us. That part. Single and suffering. Yes. I'm going to plant a couple of fruit trees. Yes. Look it up in your, because literally there are laws in some places, depending on where you live. Be careful because there are laws against female trees. So you got to be careful. Yeah, sorry y'all. I don't know what happened to the internet, but it don't want me to be great today. That part. Even the male trees are out here wilding. Yes. Tree entanglements, you say? Let me find out. Trees are getting sexy after dark. The park will never be the same. Listen, when you start sneezing and coughing and scratching, when that pollen, sex is happening. Welcome. Sex is everywhere. You know what I mean? So yes. Hello, Mainstay. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Yes. Yolanda says, Alicia, I think this conversation may be too deep for YouTube. They're really messing with your feed today. They be bothering me. Why they be bothering little old me? I just want to talk about the things that I love, But yes, thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. And thank y'all for staying around through technical difficulties. I appreciate y'all. I really do. That part. Trees want to get they freak on too. Hello. Yes. Patriarchy hates everything, including men. But men want to defend it. And I don't know why. Because they dragging y'all. And that's crazy. Loyal to things that hate you. You know? Mike says, one thing that is a bright spot regarding this discussion on trees, there's an org here called Blue Water Baltimore. Oh, shout out to Baltimore. Baltimore that's working to restore our natural habitats and preserve what we do have. I love that. I love that. I love that. Sorry, Mara. I walked back in hearing trees need to get their freak on. That is funny. Yes, yes. They do and do. Exactly. We're in this together. Yes. Yes. We need to care. We should care. I know everybody's like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. And that's how we got here. Okay. Because no offense, I love every generation. I love everybody. Okay. But a lot of these like ideals that we have, a lot of these beliefs that we have are literally killing us and each other. This individualism, this hyper individualism is killing us. It's killing us. Well, technically, is it like sex? No, they're not like rubbing bodies together, but like talking about pollen. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay. But I love that, Mike. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. Because I would love to see some good news. That is good news. All right. So now as we're coming to a close, thank you for hanging out with me. I do want to talk about things that I'm learning from trees. And like, I want to share this with you all to share what we can learn from trees, right? So we talked about why I love trees. We talked about why you love trees. We talked about the benefit of trees, right? And now I want to talk about what I'm learning from being in community with trees or learning about them or being around people. I'm sorry, reading y'all comments, or being around people who value trees and value what I value. Excuse me 1 second. All right, let's get to it. What am I learning from the trees and what can we learn? Number one, I'm not going to number this because I'm going to lose numbers. I don't even know why I started doing that. But what am I learning from the trees and what can we learn? Go slow. Go slow to last long. Slow down. Relax. It's not that serious. Everything is not urgent. Everything is not an emergency, right? But by going slow, we get there whole, healthy, happy. So go slow to last long. The next thing that I learned is to rest under the shade of your elders. And elders could be like elders, like older people, but it could also be people who are wiser than you, who have more experience than you do, right? Thinking about the sapling that grows from the ground, who lives underneath of the canopy of trees, the elder trees, right? The tree wants to like grow and like, I want to grow. And if sunlight hits it, it will grow straight up, but it won't be strong. It'll just be tall. So rest under the shade of your elders. Listen to their wisdom. See what you can learn from them. Watch them, before you get out there too. Ask them questions. Rest under the shade of your elders. Excuse me. Live in community. Not only trees and fungi and animals, right? Or Spanish moss. But we should live in community too. Trees literally, they take care of each other. Right? They take care of other trees. But like I said, they also take care of fungi. They also take care of the animals, the bugs, us. And they also live in harmony with nature. So just like the Spanish moss that I was talking about earlier, I've been researching Spanish moss because my grandmommy loved Spanish moss. Like she grew up in Savannah. And so she loves Spanish moss and she has since passed on. And I love her. That's my girl. And so learning about Spanish moss and learning how it's almost like Spanish moss and trees have a consenting relationship. They consent to co-live together, right? The Spanish moss doesn't take anything from the tree to be there. And the tree and the Spanish moss benefits from being in relationship with each other. So live in community, live in relationship with one another. Just because you're different, you might come from a different background or whatever, we can all benefit each other. We all have different things that we can bring to benefit each other. So yes. So I said, live in community. I said, we need each other. Hyper individualism leads to death. Leads to death. Thinking about those little trees that we see in neighborhoods that are like, it's a new neighborhood and it's like one tree here, 3 houses down, another tree here. Those trees are going to die because it doesn't have community. It doesn't have friends. It doesn't have family. It can't hear anything. There's, again, I'm going to find it in this book, but like there was this image that was drawn with words and thinking about a tree in the middle of nowhere, like one solitary tree and how it's silent. It's silent. there is no community around it. There's no network. You know, when you are alone, you die. You die. And then hold on. No, I got to find this because I highlighted this today because there's been a lot going on and like, I've been having a lot of thoughts. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Yep. A tree's silence could be because of a serious illness or perhaps the loss of its fungal network, which would leave the tree completely cut off from the latest news. The tree no longer registers as approaching disaster, and the doors are open for caterpillar and beetle buffet. The loner trees by themselves, the loners I just mentioned are similarly susceptible. They might look healthy, but they have no idea what's going on around them. Isn't that awful? So the tree might look healthy, but they on around him. And I think about us as individuals. Like, I'm big and bad. I don't need people. I'm by myself. I can do it alone. I don't need nobody. I'm grown, right? I'm grown. But you have no idea what's going on. You're depending solely on yourself. You're going to be exhausted. You need community. You need help. You need each other. And you literally do not live by yourself unless you're like out there homesteading, literally in the middle of nowhere. But even then, you're not alone. You're eating off the ground, right? Off the land. The land has to be consenting. The trees have to be consenting. You're still in community. You're not alone, right? So like, again, I'm big and bad. I'm by myself. No, you're not. Who fixes your car when it breaks down? Who delivers your packages to your door? Who checks your items to make sure that they pass whatever standard it is to make sure that our food is okay? You're not alone. You cannot survive by yourself. You weren't put here to be by yourself. We need each other. All right. So another thing that I would say, take up space and leave space for others. Take up space. You being fully yourself is not infringing on anybody, but also don't infringe on anybody. Don't take things that aren't yours. If you have enough, leave some for somebody else. We talk about the crown, like the room and the trees and the canopy, and how like they come close, but they don't touch. They leave room for each other. You know, let me, I'm gonna look this up again. Cause I just think it's beautiful. What did I search? I searched space between tree canopy. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen one more time. Share screen, please. Thank y'all. Share. Here we go. Images. Yeah, like this. You know, you have enough. When you have enough, leave some for other people. You know, I think about COVID in 2020, because COVID is still here. It's not over. But I think about COVID and how everybody lost their minds buying toilet paper and like, what was it? Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, paper towels, and all this other stuff. And then people were reselling it for like a premium price. Gross, disgusting, garbage, right? But like people were hoarding the stuff. And I'm like, how much toilet paper, like, do you really need? We really don't be conscious of other people. Why are you buying up everything in the store? Other people need that too. You have enough. We don't know enough. Trees know enough. And also trees know enough because they know that they have a whole network underneath of them working together for everybody's benefit. Nobody has to be alone. Nobody has to just, oh, I gotta get what's mine. I gotta take care of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, like I use this example all the time, but like if I needed to cut my grass and my neighbor has a lawnmower, they might use that lawnmower maybe what, like 15 times over the summer. The days they're not using it, can I borrow it? That means I don't have to buy it myself. We have everything that everybody needs. We just have to start sharing. That's just my own opinion. All right, let me see. Yay, okay. What else I learned from them? Support and nourish a fallen sibling. Help those who can't help themselves. Help the vulnerable. So trees, a tree will fall and become sick, or a tree will be cut down and it'll just be a stump, right? And this tree surrounding it will still take care of that tree. Take care of people who cannot help themselves. Everybody cannot help themselves. I know people say stuff like, God helps those that helps themselves. That's not true. You are God. You're the person supposed to help them. I'm sorry. I'm getting passionate, but like, why, this goes back to like, why are you praying when you can do something? Why are you giving words when you have something you can offer? You are the hands and feet of God. So do something about it. Help people that can't help themselves. Some people literally cannot help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the next thing, release what you don't have the capacity to maintain. It's all useful and it all becomes compost. Talking about the fall, right? We're in the fall. The trees aren't really changing here yet, but like we're in the fall officially. And trees let go of leaves because they cannot maintain it. Let go of what you cannot maintain. Let go. There's like this phrase that people say like, let go or be dragged. You know what I'm saying? And I understand what people mean when they say that. But for real, trees let go because, I ain't got it. I ain't got the capacity. This is a leaf. Sorry, I ain't got it. It's cold. The days are getting shorter. The nights are getting longer. I ain't got it. Release it. Release it. And I'll create the trees. I create a little blanket. You know what I'm saying? I'll create a little blanket for my bug friends so that they can rest too in the winter. There's this, okay, it's right here. Okay. There's a card by Trisha Hersey that I have out right now. And it says, as I rest, I make space for others to rest. Trees are perfect examples of this. As I rest, I make space for others to rest. Right? So when trees rest, okay, cool. I gotta release these leaves. The bugs are able to rest too. Other animals are able to take those leaves and those sticks and everything like that and the bark even and create their own little homes, little den. You know, I think that's so beautiful. Another thing I'm learning from trees, communicate and share my lessons with others. Mentor. You don't have to have it all figured out to share. You don't have to have it all figured out to be helpful. You know what I mean? I know some things. I don't know everything. And I know some things that worked for me. And maybe I can offer that to you and be like, hey, this worked for me. Try this out. Or this didn't work out for me. Maybe you should do something else. We hoard lessons because I feel like a lot of us feel like we don't know enough or like we're not smart enough or brilliant enough. You are brilliant. You're like a walking textbook. You're a walking holy text. There's so much that you could share with other people that will save other people. And I wrote that down because trees, right? When they're getting eaten by caterpillars or like animals or giraffes and stuff like that, they send out a signal to say, hey, I'm getting eaten. Prepare yourself. I'm getting eaten. Prepare yourself. And the trees next to it can prepare itself to not be eaten by this animal by changing the chemical makeup of the leaves. It's amazing. Okay. The next thing. Sometimes growing in the shadow of someone else is best for you now. Sometimes it's not your time yet. You have all this energy and all this potential and all this, like, we're ready to go. We're raring. When we're young, we have so much like zeal and passion and energy. But if it's not funneled correctly or handled correctly, we can make mistakes, you know? So I'm not saying don't live your life. But also maybe sometimes, like I said, listen to your elders. Listen to people who have been here a little longer or who have more experience in this thing, right? Leave room. Grow in the shadows of someone else is best for you right now. But when it's time for you to bloom and blossom, you do that because you have the right foundation. You've given yourself what you needed. You're taking time away. You're resting. You're learning. You're being fed by other people. Again, like I said, I'm in a season of receiving. That's what I'm doing. I'm receiving. I ain't got nothing right now. You know, I have things. I have ideas. I have a whole journal full of ideas, but I have no energy to execute on them, and it's okay. Because right now I need to receive and to beef up a little bit, like get my strength back, you know? And when it's time to run again, I'll be running. The next thing I'm going to share is to leave room for others. Take up space, but don't invade or encroach on other people's space. We already said that. Another thing, mind your energy and set boundaries with overworking. Go the easy way. Go the easy way. Stephanie Perry talked about that on Saturday about ease. And I did a whole journaling thing about that. But we're taught to go the hard way, make it hard. If it's not hard, it doesn't count. If you didn't have to climb a mountain, you're not worthy of celebration. Trees go the easy way. They go in community. They go slow. They go near the water. I'm gonna push my roots this way because there's water here. Go the easy way. It's not sin. The tree uses the wind to take the pollen. The tree uses ease to stay alive and to also take care of its friends and family, right? So it uses the wind, the fungi, its resources, other plants. It smells it takes the easy way and it lasts a long time. You know, ask for help. Like I said, these trees be like, help, I'm under attack. And his family comes running to help take care of it. Ask for help. Always keep the greater good of all beings top of mind. Work together so we all thrive. We need each other, and we need each other to survive. There's like this church song that says that. I need you to survive, but for real, like, we need each other to survive. Like, my life is so much greater because you all are alive. You feel me? Like, it's so much richer. I could be talking to myself. You feel me? Like, but I'm glad that you're here with me, creating community. You know, we need each other to survive. Trees know the value of their community. They're not into hyper individualism like us. They're not into capitalism and pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. They know they're as old as time. Trees are as old as time. And they're like, these little silly humans. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them running around, making it harder for themselves, fighting each other, tearing each other down when they need each other. Look at them. It grieves me. Trees also know that in order for me to survive, we all must survive. So trees know, hey, cousin, sister, mother, whoever, you take care of me, I take care of you. I need you to survive because we have a relationship where I give and I take, and you give and you take. And we take care of everybody. Trees create forests, and forests create climates in which the trees can survive. It's a cycle. We need each other. We need each other. Trees also know, we all live in relationship with nature, whether we know it or not. That's something that I'm taking away from this. We all live in nature, in relationship with nature, whether we know it or not. When you sneeze in and that pollen is happening, that's nature, right? When we're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, we can thank a bee. We can thank a beetle. We can thank a butterfly. Even the things that we find pesty. Apparently, flies are really good pollinators. Apparently. Flies and mosquitoes. Because I was like, what is the purpose of mosquitoes? They're just so annoying. Mosquitoes be pollinating too. Let me make sure it was a mosquito. Because I think I was like, what? Let's see. Mosquitoes pollinate. Yup. Yep. Some species of mosquitoes are pollinators. Nectar is their primary food source for some of them. And they pollinate small flowers. Oh, no worry, Hannah. Thank you for being here. But yeah, we live in connection with nature, whether we know it or not, whether we appreciate it or not. Something else I'm learning from trees is to protect and care for the vulnerable, just because it's the right thing to do. Protect and care for the vulnerable. When I'm caring for and protecting the vulnerable, I know that they can't do anything for me, but that's not the point. The point is not so that they can do something for me. The point is because I see you as a fellow human being. I see you as a fellow human being, and I want you to be well. Because you deserve that too. If I deserve that, you for sure deserve that. It's not just me. Love your people well. Love your people well. Mourn your people when you lose them. We like to pretend, oh, I don't care, whatever, or I'm big and strong. Mourn them. Like, mourning is a sign that you are brave enough to love them. And trees mourn their fellow fallen trees. They feel pain. They mourn. They cry. They also make noise. That's another conversation for another day. But yes, love your people well. Warn others of dangers that you've experienced. Why not tell people the things to avoid if they can avoid it? It's almost like people feel like, oh, well, if I had to go through it, so do you. That's silly. That's prideful. That's arrogant. That's selfish. Why? Why? Just so that you can watch other people suffer? So you can handicap other people? Using air quotes, handicap. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Another thing, cooperate with others. We are all worthy and important. Yep. And in isolation, we slowly wither away. Another thing I'm learning is to dig deep roots. Link with others. Put your hands deep into the soil. Hold on, right? Hold on to each other's hands. And the last thing I'll say is that nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted in nature. And with trees, nothing is wasted. Everything is for a purpose, even the things that they let go of. Nothing is wasted. So that's what I wanted to share with y'all today. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was fun. I had fun talking about things that, that I love. But I want to see what y'all talking about in the chat. And then we'll get out of here. Oh, yes. The book is called The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Wohlleben. And it's what they feel, how they communicate, discoveries from a secret world. It's a really, really good book. It's an international bestseller. But it's really good. And the chapters are pretty short. But it's just really thick. But yeah, it's really good. Yay, thank you. Thank you. KMC, hello. Hi, Alicia, hello. Thanks so much for doing this live. We love trees. Yes, I just want to say with love that community is a triggering topic because not everyone has the privilege of having community. Absolutely. I'm not, yeah, absolutely. And that's unfortunate. And I wish that everybody had community. And in my mind, that makes me want to be a communal person even more so that people can get what they don't have. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I definitely understand that it is triggering. It is. Yeah. Some of us really have no one. I understand. I understand that. Yeah. And I'm sending you a lot of love. Yeah, that part. And you can't force others to do for you. You can't. And it's really unfortunate. That part, yeah. But community is wonderful if you have it. It is. But it's really sad that like we see a person who is in need and our immediate thought is not to care for them. I don't know what that is. Like, cause even when I can't help other people, I still have the heart to. You know what I mean? Like, cause why wouldn't I help other people? You know? So yes. But thank you for that. Yay, thanks for the exclamation marks. Aw, hi Khadijah. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Okay, there we go. Why aren't you praying hard enough? Like, child, what? Hello? That is so annoying. People who, listen, y'all can keep it. People who only want to be like, oh, well, you're not praying hard enough. Or have you tried fasting? Girl, do you have the thing to help the people or nah? Like, if you don't have, then go away. Because what are we praying for? What is the point of praying when everybody has what other people need? Like, the thing is, like, I understand prayer. I get it, right? And I understand, like, oh, you know, I'm praying that you heal and these kinds of things. Like, we can help people heal, but we can't necessarily determine if they will heal. But if somebody has a need, what are we praying for? And you got the coin, or you got the access, or you got the lawnmower. What are we praying for? For what? You know? But yes. Mike says we've been living interdependently since the dawn of humankind. Exactly. Just like the trees and their fungal. I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, Western civilization has pounded independence into our heads for generations, and now most of us believe that's the right way to live. Exactly. And it's not. Like, for people who swear that like independence is like the way to go, a lot of them are tired. A lot of them are wealthy, which means that they stole labor from other people or they stole resources from other people, right? Like, so like this idea of, I'm not saying everybody that's wealthy has stolen, but what I am saying is that a lot of people who say that stuff, oh, well, you know, just whatever, they're lying. They didn't get rich by themselves. You know what I mean? Like, independence is like a lie. We are all interdependent, whether we acknowledge it or not. Again, like I said, somebody's delivering your groceries or your packages. Somebody is driving the bus, driving the metro, the train. Hello? Like, somebody is cleaning the park that you go to, or cleaning the bathroom at Target, or whatever it is. Like, we're all dependent on other people. So this independent thing is a lie. It actually don't check out. And it's a genius thing to do, to make us buy into something that's not even real, so that we look at ourselves as a failure if we fail. Whole time, people failing, even economically, is a whole system. It's a whole system dependent on so many things. We just talked about like ecocide. We just talked about how people in urban areas are denied access to clean water, clean housing, a quiet, safe place to live, nature. Like, yeah. Yes, Paige Turner, thank you. I'm so good to see you. It's good to see you. I'm learning that right now, Alicia. Thanks so much for this message. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. It's beautiful to watch little creatures in my yard, especially the squirrels and rabbits, collect their acorns and sticks and look after their young. Yes, it's so sweet and heartwarming. It is. I love watching squirrels. Squirrels are funny. I also like bunnies. Bunnies are like maybe my second favorite, animal that I see all the time. I like bunnies. I like squirrels. I like birds. Birds are hilarious. And my granny, my granny, my great grandmother on my mother's side, she was friends with squirrels. And I remember we went camping. I was like 4 years old. We went camping in the fall, and we were on the beach somewhere in Florida, and these squirrels would not leave her alone. Like, they were her friends. Like, so yes, I love that. That brings back warm memories for me too. Thank you for sharing that, Yolanda. Mike says, oh, sorry. Yes. That right there, Mara, that's one of the many reasons why, although I was raised as a Christian, I don't subscribe to it. I know all Christians aren't horrible, but the bad ones far outnumber the good. That's fair. That's fair. And I agree. And the bad ones always the loudest and the proudest. All of them. Me, I do as little as possible, as often as possible. Team easy. Period. The first time I heard someone say that was Stephanie Perry. And I was like, wow, I do as little as possible. I was like, huh. To admit that and to smile while saying that and feel no shame, like, that's what I want. That's what I want. I do as little as possible. I love that, MJ. I love that for you. KMC says, be kinder to your Amazon delivery driver. Offer them something. Remember, they are human. Exactly. Tie up y'all animals also for the U.S. postal people and the delivery people. Tie up them animals. But yes, be kind. Every time they deliver something and I'm here for it, I thank them at least. Like, thank you so much. When my mother was having like work done to her house, she was like getting her windows replaced like upstairs or something. And like, I remember being there. I was like, do y'all want some water? Like, are y'all thirsty? And they were kind of looking at us like, what? Like, and I'm like, yeah, are you thirsty? And sure enough, they were, right? But they weren't going to ask for it because they don't know that they can't ask for it, because people gonna be like, I'm paying you to do a job. You need to do the job and get out. They're human. Period. Team easy. I love that. And yes, no worries, Hannah. No worries. The replay will be available. So thank you for being here. Uh-oh, I guess I better put away the can of Raid. Okay, hold on. Because there's a difference. I had this thought this morning. There's a difference because there was like a bug stuck between my window and like the screen. I was like, oh no. And I guess it was there all night and I didn't know. So I I had like one of those like turn the handle things and it opens so the bug can escape. I feel like there's a difference between bugs that I haven't gotten there yet, right? Where I'm like, oh, if there was a roach or something, I cannot promise you. I'm gonna let you know now. I'm not even not gonna promise you. I'm gonna kill that roach. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not there yet. But I do. There was one time there was like a spider in my mother's bathroom. And it had been there, like, I went in the bathroom and I saw it. I was like, are you a friend? I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. Because apparently, like, daddy long legs, they're really good for, like, getting rid of pests from your home. But at the same time, I came into the bathroom and there was more. And I was like, oh, no, see, I was just trying to be kind and hospitable. But, like, you can't be bringing in your whole family in the bathroom. So, like, they had to go. So, yes. Yep, I was thinking about getting pawpaw trees. Ooh, because the fruit tastes really good, but they need flies to pollinate them, and they produce a rotting smell to attract the flies. That's interesting. See? That's interesting. If I had property with a lot of land, I'd grow pawpaws, but I'm in the middle of the city. Yeah. Right. I wish I had some land. But yes. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had fun too. I had a lot of fun. Hoverflies are great pollinators. Mike, my favorite bug is a hoverfly. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. I didn't know other people knew what hoverflies were. Hold on. Hoverflies, yes. They're so cute. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. Present. I love sitting out in nature and like they're so tiny and they come over to you and they land and they just sit there and they float. It's like they float. They look like a bee, but they're tinier than that. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So hoverflies, I love them. They're so nice. So they're often referred to as flower flies or drone flies. They're beneficial insects that appear in large numbers during I don't want to click the thing, but here's one. Hoverflies are also called flower flies or make up the insect family Syrphidae. Sorry to all the insect people out there. As their common name suggests, they are often seen hovering or nectaring at flowers. The adults of many species feed mainly on nectar and pollen, while the larvae eat a wide range of foods. Yes. But they're so cute. They're adorable. Mike, I love that. But yes, those are my favorite bug so far. so far. But yeah, they literally hover like hummingbirds. Like how hummingbirds kind of move side to side and back and forth. That's how hoverflies move, side to side and back and forth. And they're friendly. And sometimes they will just like land, like if I'm in the park, like on my blanket, they'll land on my knee or something, or like on a piece of paper. You know what I mean? And they just chill. They don't sting or nothing like that. So yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Okay. Thank you for the lab. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, cool. I just requested the book from my local library. I love that. Enjoy. It's a really, really good book. Really, really good book. Yay. Yes, thank y'all for showing KMC some love. I appreciate that, y'all. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. Jesse says during COVID, when it was hard to find toilet paper, I finally found 8 rolls at a Whole Foods 10 miles away. But I decided to give 4 to a young lady and her child. God will provide, don't hoard. I love that. Thank you for that, Jesse. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. Because at the end of the day, like, worst case scenario, if I don't have toilet paper, like, we have other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have like a handheld, I don't know if this team out, whatever. We have like a handheld squirt, like it squirts water out. It's supposed to act as a bidet, essentially, right? Worst comes to work, I could take a shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not life or death. And if other people need it more than me, you can have it. You can have it. You know what I mean? But yes. Like, even like my how do you say this? My parents-in-laws, whatever. My in-laws. They were like, just use your, like, you have a washcloth, you have other things. Like, yeah, you might have to throw it away or like wash it, but like, what are we doing? Even with babies, like babies used to wear like the little diapers that were cloth, you know, and people would wash them and be okay. Y'all, you're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But yes. No, it's not gross. Jesse, this may sound gross, but we really wouldn't have a use for toilet paper if they would make bidets affordable. That part. You know, a lot of countries look at us like we're disgusting. They look at us like we're disgusting. Toilet paper? Ew. Y'all don't wash? Y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, but that's true. It is true, Yolanda. It is. Yes, that part. Mara, this. When you read books, you're reading someone else's writing, right? So to say that you got anything or anywhere by yourself is a lie. That's a lie. Exactly. Thank you for that. Butterfly Effect says, I love nature as well. I find myself talking to trees, especially when I step on their roots. Yes, me too. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, tree. I say, excuse me, the squirrels are hilarious. Bunnies are so cute. Not so interested in their cousins. That's fair. That's fair. When people are like, bunnies are rodents, I'm like, no, they're different. But they are rodents. They are, to be fair. Yes, please. Please be kind to call center employees. Absolutely. Any like customer service job, be kind. I mean, be kind in general, but especially them. Okay? They probably got cussed out today. You have no idea. You have no idea. They're underpaid. They're overwhelmed. They might be working at home, staying at home with their kids. It's a lot. It's a lot. I give people a lot of grace. You know, even if I have like a bad server, my goal is to win them over with kindness. Okay, that's my goal. Anytime I get bad service, I'm like, oh, okay, challenge accepted. You know, it don't always work, but I'm not offended. My house backs trees, and when I go for walks, if my energy is off, I feel like the energy coming from the tree is trying to soothe me. Paige Turner, I believe it. Apparently, trees also communicate with sound. Beautiful. Marsh, I know that's right. Bugs in the house don't pay any bills. Hello? No bills. You're not paying no bills. You got to go. You got to go. Yes, sorry, I'm in y'all conversation. Helping others requires us to be vulnerable. Absolutely. I think a lot of people are scared if they help, they won't have, or they will get taken advantage of. Absolutely. Hello, I didn't see you. Yes, I didn't see you come in. But yeah, I agree. It's a risk either way. Living is a risk. I kind of talked about that a little bit yesterday on my podcast for Black Girl Creative. Everything is a risk, you know, and they might not take care of me, but I believe that God, spirit, other people, my ancestors, my community is going to take care of me. My people going to take care of me. You feel me? I don't know how. It might not be with money. It could be with, you know, hey, I made you a plate of food today or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I have this belief that like I am, even though sometimes I don't feel like it, that I am supported. At Exodus Summit last year, Octavia Rahim led a session. It was a rest session. And Exodus Summit is a summit put on every year by Rashida Dow and Stephanie Perry. And its focus is on helping people, this year's focus on helping people leave the country quickly. And one thing that she said, it was like, I am supported. Like, you're sitting on a chair, you're supported. You're standing on the ground, you are supported. There are reminders that we are supported. I went swimming last year and I made a video about that. Like, the lifeguard in the pool, the lifeguard was watching me swim in the pool. I am supported. The lifeguard's hopefully not gonna let me drown if something happens, right? Like, I'm surrounded by people, friends, animals, plants, spirits that take care of me, you know? But everything is a risk. And I understand that fear because some people are selfish and some people will take advantage of you. And some people have taken advantage of me, but I'm also very well taken care of. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that to say like, oh, I'm wealthy or rich. I don't mean that at all. I mean, like, even when I got down to like the last of what I've had, there's always been something that came through, something I couldn't plan. And I believe because I love people and I take care of people and I take care of the environment and I have a good heart. I mean well. I don't always get it perfect, but I mean well. I want to believe that will be rewarded and seen. And sometimes I'll be honest, it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes it does feel like I'm forgotten, you know? But yes, I completely agree. Christine says, me and my friends and I, we're talking about this in regards to church hurt, and people not understanding abuse. I think a great question to pose, is it Christianity or Black Christianity? Uh-oh. That's a whole conversation. That's a tough conversation. That's a good question. As I think, let me think about that. Y'all have me until the insects topic. That's fair, because I'm afraid of bugs. I like ladybugs, but until they start flying, I'm out. Okay, ladybugs are cute from a distance. When they fly, it's scary because their wingspan is so big. Them joints are scary. It is scary. There's a guy here on YouTube who grows exotic fruit on his property. He says one of the fruits tastes like chocolate pudding. Oh yeah, I need to know what that is. Oh no, those bugs hurt when they land on you. Oh, the hoverflies? Oh no, they don't. They're cute. They're little cuties. Oh, you talking about ladybugs? Ladybugs? Tell me more, Mara. But yes. One of these came near me yesterday on my walk. I thought it was a bee. Yeah, I'm learning something today. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, KMC. A group of ladybugs is called Loveliness. That's adorable. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Wow, I love that. We used socks back in the day when we ran out. Oh, listen. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, okay? We want you healthy and safe, okay? And if that's, throw them away. There we go. Or wash them. But yes. God blesses us so we can bless others. Yeah, not that we shouldn't enjoy our blessings, but why not share if you can? Absolutely, exactly. Because, like, there's only so much. Like, if I have a whole cake, there's only so much of this cake I can eat. You feel me? Before it goes bad. If I hoard it, it's going to spoil. It's going to get hard and flaky, and it's not going to be fun to eat. What's more fun is sharing cake with somebody, having that experience with somebody else, you know, because that's the whole point. You have cake. Well, people eat cake whenever they want, but I only eat cake when it's a celebration or a party because I'm not a big fan of cake. I like pound cake, but that's about it. But like, what's more fun to me is sharing the experience with somebody else, you know? So yeah, I love sharing. I like sharing my food. I feel like it's a very intimate thing. Like, hey, you want to try some of this? Here, have some. That's very much me. But yes. Listen, okay? We out here surviving. I just ordered the book. Can't wait to dive in it. Yay, the trees share their wisdom. Absolutely, Jesse. Yes. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you. All right, let me come down. Oh, hi, So Golden. It's good to see you and your lovely face. So this is a book. Everybody has recommended other books too, but the book is The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. What they feel, how they communicate, discoveries from a secret world. So yes. All right. I'm always kind to call center employees, but outsourcing, a communication job overseas with language and cultural barriers is nasty work for employers and customers. I agree. It's also taking advantage of them too, right? Because they're only going out there so they can pay them less. You feel me? So yes, absolutely. And there are a lot of language and cultural barriers too. So yes, absolutely. Human independence, goes against nature. Yes. The first humans committed the sin of thinking they didn't need God and his wisdom. They disconnected themselves from every other creature from earth. Wow. That's honestly, that makes sense. That makes sense. If we're talking about the creation story, right? We're talking about the creation story from the Bible. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yay. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Marsha M. Thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all for being so kind and helpful to people. I appreciate that. Reading a book is helpful and inspiring, but it's not the same as tangible. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I think we were just talking about like how we're all dependent on other people. That's all. Like we read literature from other people, we eat other people's food, we drive other people's cars. Somebody had to make the car. That's a whole thing. Somebody had to make the house that we're living in unless you built it from your hands. But even then, you're supported by trees, you know? But yes, I agree. There's nothing, it's not the same as tangible community. You're absolutely right. You're right. Hello, Mike Check Mag. Hello, hello. Aw, when you're loved, you are wealthy and rich. I love that. There's so many things I'm going to be writing down from this. Yay. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Level Up Single Mom. Yes, yes. All right, let me see. Oh, Mike says, hey, everyone, if you have the space and or energy, check out your state or local department of environment website. Sometimes they have plant giveaways. That's dope, Mike. Thank you. And I think you said you're in Baltimore. I'm in Maryland, so let me write this down. State department. I'm gonna have to come back because y'all are dropping a lot of resources. Thank you. Did you see someone had a live ladybug in their colon? How? I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I did not see that. That's wild. Wow. Ooh, the state of Maryland gives away elderberry bushes sometimes. And a few years ago, my cousin told me how our city was giving away fig trees. Okay. Yes, I need to know this. Hello. Is it Tania or Tanija? Hello, Tania, Tanija. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And correct me if I'm wrong also, please. Yes, some folks say ladybugs are lucky. They are. But in the colon, that's crazy. It was on one of my timelines. That's scary. That is so scary. Oof. Paige Turner says, vulnerability is easy once you become the vulnerable energy that you want to receive. Yes. What you give to others will return to you. I found my tribe by being the energy I needed. I love that. I love that. And I do agree. I think when people learn that you are safe, I think people start to put their guards down. You know what I mean? Like everybody's walking around so guarded because their vulnerability has been weaponized against them, or being vulnerable makes you easy prey for people who are predators, right? And so like, I think when people discover like, oh, okay, this person is vulnerable. This person accepts themselves as they are. This person knows who they are. This person is human. I can be human with them too, right? Like you being free frees other people. You know what I mean? So I love that, Paige Turner. I love that. I love that. It's almost like when you come to a relationship, like friendship, whatever, and you're coming with a gift. Like if you go over somebody's house, you're coming with like a gift. Like, hey, I don't come here empty handed. You know what I mean? Not saying that you have to bare your soul to people you don't know. You don't have to do that. But like when you are a safe place for yourself, people can feel that. People can feel you embodying yourself and like also inviting them in to like, hey, if you want to, you can, you don't have to, no pressure, but this is who I am. And after a while, people start to get like, oh, okay, get used to you and like, okay, you're a safe person. You're a safe place that I can be myself. I love that. I love that. Oh, sorry. I'm in you all's chat. I think the issues of Black Christianity are a reflection of issues in the Black community. Absolutely. Fair. That's fair. Mike says ladybugs are awesome. They eat insects that are harmful to the plants that we need. Oh, thank you, Mike. That's beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. So they're fierce. They're cute, but they're fierce. It really is, I guess, like A Bug's Life. Like, y'all remember that movie, the Disney movie, A Bug's Life? And like the ladybug, it was like a guy. And everybody's like, oh, you're so cute. And he's like, take me seriously, right? So I guess that's cool. They're like cute little baby warriors. Yes, yes. All right, oh, you can adopt a tree. That's really cool. Oh, yes. Moon McDaniels just told me here, and hello, Moon McDaniels again. Just told me here in the chat that the name of that fruit that tastes like chocolate pudding is called black sapote. Oh, thank you. I'm going to go to Google and say, how do you say this? Black sapote. Thank you for that. I've never even heard of that. I've never heard of that. That's dope. That's really cool. Yes, yes. Absolutely. It's a weird space to be in when you need the pour, yes, that you have poured into others. Absolutely. In this season of anxiety for me, my pitcher has run over. I feel so loved and encouraged. I love that, Paige Turner. I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I'm glad that you feel loved and encouraged. I really do. I really do. I think I'm in a space where I poured a lot out and like I need a lot. You know what I mean? Like I need care. I need to care for myself. I need to be around people and places and things that are caring and gentle with my soul. So yeah, I feel that. I feel that. That's the thing. We put the responsibility on people who are already struggling. Talk about it. Who are already struggling and saying it's their fault. They don't have people in their lives. You have no idea why they don't. It's not always energy. Agreed. Agreed. But that's society now. That's society now. We blame everything on energy. Is that simple, really? Okay, I really want to have a live. We'll talk about it later. But like, because we're already 2.5 hours in. So shout out to y'all. But like, I do want to talk about a lot of like spiritual bypassing that we do. A lot of things that we talk about and that we have like taken as fact. Because some of that is just, like I said, just spiritual bypassing. Like, it's not true. Real quick, this idea of, what is it? I don't want to ruffle any feathers. But, oh my gosh, like something attraction, law of attraction, right? That mindset is actually really harmful. Like on some level. On some levels, it's fine, right? It's like, okay, cool, great, right? But on a lot of other levels, it's actually really harmful. And it's also like hyper individualistic. It's literally blaming the person for the situation that they're in. Like how people say you attract who you are. That's a lie. That's not true. That's not true. You attract people, period. And like you get to determine what you want to curate your friend circle with, right? But like if you're a good person, if you're kind, if you're generous, if you're vulnerable, if you're gracious and stuff like that, if you're a kind person, you might attract some bad people. What that got to do with you? Sometimes they're just bad people who do bad things, who take advantage of people. That doesn't mean that you attracted them, you know? So yes, KMC, I'm with you. I'm with you. And I've been chewing on it and trying to figure out like how to bring it up. Either way, it's going to ruffle feathers and it's okay. But like, it's just some questions. Like you said, is it that simple? And I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think we blame stuff on energy when really it'd be us. It'd be selfish. It'd be white supremacy dressed in spirituality. And I'm just not, I'm not there. So yeah, so I'm with you. So we gonna talk. This just gave me confirmation to talk about what we need, what I want to talk about. We don't need to talk about it, I guess, but I would like to talk about it. Ooh, it does sound delicious, right? Chocolate pudding. Oh, I find myself in that season, but no one's around. Oh, KMC, I'm sending you so much love. I understand. Yeah. I don't know. I feel similar to you. I feel similar to you. I understand what that feels like. Let me hurry up and get through the chat because YouTube don't want me to be great, or StreamYard. You're a beautiful person. Oh, thank you. You're a beautiful person, Alicia, and you give so much. I enjoy you so much, and I pray everything that you have given will be returned to you for generations to come. I receive that, and I appreciate that, Paige Turner. That is so kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that deeply. Yes. I agree, Alicia. The Secret is a terrible book. I haven't even read it. I don't want to read it. I'm not. I'm just not interested. But yeah, all that stuff that's in it that people get from that, I'm just like, yeah, this is problematic. This is a problem. That's not true, you know? But I'm all for people choosing their life. I'm all for people being free enough to choose what they want to do in life, but it's not that simple. It's never that simple. You know? So yeah. Some people are attracted to your light like an annoying moth and a porch light. That's a good analogy. Exactly, right? A light is going to attract the moth, the mosquito, you know, I don't know, a bird or something. I don't know. Bad example. But like the light is the light. It means nothing about the light except that it's there and it's attractive. It's attractive. You know, people flock to New York every year, like New York City specifically, like New York City or like, you know, Times Square, because it's a tourist destination and people are like, oh, I'm attracted. I want to go here. Right. But it doesn't necessarily mean anything about, I don't know. That's a bad example. I went too far. But anyway, you know, but everybody's going to be attracted to something, but it doesn't mean that something is either good or bad. I find, There are problematic things about the Times Square. But anyway, about Times Square. But that's another conversation for another day. But yes. We don't always attract who we are. Sometimes we attract people who are in desperate need of who we are. I love that. Daughter Nature, I love that. We don't always attract who we are. Sometimes we attract people who are in desperate need of who we are. Absolutely. When you know what you are looking for, you definitely are able to cut things off that are undeserving. Absolutely. What I will say, right, about that you attract who you are. Sometimes, I'm speaking for myself, I've entertained people or places too long because I didn't know that I could have better or that I deserved better. You know what I mean? So like, because I didn't know what I was worth, or like that I didn't have to suffer for love, or insert thing here, I suffered a long time because I thought that was a price I had to pay, right? And then when you hear messages like, oh, well, you attract who you are, you start looking at yourself like, oh, well, am I a gross, disgusting person? No, that's victim blaming. We're not doing that. We don't do that here. That's crazy. But yes, yes. Yay, much love to you. Much love to you. Yay. Okay, good. Hi, Wind Singerful. Hello. I'm glad. Okay. Yes. KMC, you're in a whole chat of people who wish you the highest and greatest good. Sometimes your tribe isn't in your direct bubble, but perhaps online. That's true too. I've been spending a lot of time online because like my community itself is like people that I hang out with, in person. Of course, it's not the same, but like they be busy, they got their own life and stuff going on. And I still need connection. And so like, even this for me is connection. This for me is connecting to community, And so, yes, KMC, I understand. I agree that it's not the same as having someone face to face, like having that warm, you know what I mean? That warm interaction. We all need that, right? But I hope that you can feel the love that we're also sending you from here, even if it's digitally or virtually, So thank you. Thank you for that, Paige Turner. Oh gosh. Satan told Adam and Eve the secret. The secret means like the secret seems like another lie. Yes, it seems like it takes possible universal truths and mixes it in with lies. So the overall lie seems legit. Exactly, right? Like it takes principles like the secret and like the law of attraction and like all these other things it seems to take things that could be good, used for good, right? But then it still wraps it up and justifies, like if we're really going to talk about the law of attraction and like, oh, we also have to talk about like colonizers taking people's land because they will it to be so. Like we really got to be careful. Like manifest destiny. All this stuff is the same to me. Like it's just white peopling and saying, oh, I deserve X, Y, and Z. Give it to me because X, Y, and Z. Like forgetting all about community, forgetting all about connection or spirit or like what is the point of hoarding all these resources if you're not going to share it with nobody? If that's the goal, then like what are we doing? Then the secret, the message is in there. And again, I haven't read it, so be gentle with me. But like the secret and like the law of attraction and all this other stuff, it just seems like another permission slip given to folks who are greedy, permission to keep being greedy and to not be connected to community. Anyway, I have better thoughts later next time. Maybe we should talk about that next time. Oh, thank you, Jessie. That would be a dream. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you that you think I'm good enough to give a TED Talk. I appreciate that. Yes. Paige is right. We appreciate the human being that you are. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, all of you all. Yes. Thank y'all for showing each other love. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Hearts. Yeah, I feel you. That's my issue with organized religion. Absolutely. That's fair. I have no notes. That is fair. Oh, thank you for the heart, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you. I attract narcs and energy vampires. Now that I'm building after being destroyed. I'm so sorry that you were destroyed. I realized that but you weren't destroyed. You're here, right? So yes. But I get what you're saying. I realized that when I'm having a good day, people want to talk to me on the streets. I'm like, no, this energy's for me. Period. Protect your energy. Okay. You worked hard for that. Protect your energy. Yes. Hello. Thank you, child of 83. You see what I'm saying? Sorry, I broke into your home. It was manifest destiny. Okay. We're here. Yay. Hi, Voyage Her Collective. Hello. It's so good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Oh, yeah, this is a perfect way to leave off. I send you a warm hug and pray you find your tribe. I have very close sister relationships with women I have never physically met. It is possible. I agree. I agree. I love that. I love that. That's the power, right, of connection in the internet and all this other stuff, like being able to connect in real time with other people across the globe. That's dope. That is dope. That energy is for me. Period. A whole word. Absolutely. Okay. So thank you all for spending time with me. I hope that you all got something from this, something. I hope you were encouraged. I hope you feel seen. I hope you feel important. Yeah, like I hope that you feel important and loved. I really appreciate y'all being here with me, spending time with me. You literally could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. Thank you for your time, your consideration. Thank you for being kind to each other. Thank you for being loving and gracious and uplifting. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being a safe space for me and for other people. Manifest Destiny. Can you believe they taught us that narcissism in school like it was normal? Hello? So y'all just took people's stuff and now we celebrating it? Really? But yes, Christine, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Insane. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you all. Thank you all. Yes, and the trees. Thank you all for being here. Yes, you're welcome, Mara. Thank you. Thank you. Then they made slavery look like a positive thing in some classes. Exactly. Because again, they will bend in whatever way that makes them look like the hero. Whatever way they end up the hero, they're willing to do that, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if it's factually incorrect. So yes. Please enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Yes, take care. Thank y'all for being here. Until next time, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Love yourselves, love each other, and love some trees today. Look at some trees and say thank you. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.